all year.
So let's get after it, fight to the end. That's all we can do, brother. Show them who you are.
Allmendinger will not be denied. He'll win at Vegas.
We have done everything that we have to do to get here, and they know that you give us one opportunity to go do it, like we're going to take it.
What a way to get to Phoenix after a year that we've had. Let's go win a championship. Let's go!
We want to welcome all of you who have been watching Oregon State and San Jose State on CW Sports here. So, Brad, I want to talk about A.J. Allmendinger because he used to drive for you. What would a NASCAR championship mean to him personally?
Yeah, you know, AJ is a very emotional guy. He's a very visceral athlete. You know, he's a 5-time winner in Champ Car. We saw him winning the Rolex. He almost won the Indianapolis 500, and he won for the greatest team owner in all of stock car racing in the Cup Series.
You mean you?
That's exactly right.
Let's just throw that in there.
Let's just throw it in.
But we see and we hear him react and explode. This would mean everything to AJ. I don't think AJ's really looking forward to driving that Cup car next year. It's just not his forte, but he's going to do it because he's talented enough to do it. This would be the pinnacle of A.J. Allmendinger's career if he could win this championship tonight.
So, DJ, he's moving back to Cup next year. This might be his last realistic shot at a NASCAR championship. Those are his words this week, not mine. Does that add some pressure to his plate today?
100%. You know, that pressure is self-inflicted, though, and what A.J. has to do is just, as Brad was talking about, keep those emotions calm. And this isn't a race. You don't have to go win this race. You have 3 competitors that you're racing against, so no matter how bad you might think things are at the halfway point, your car isn't the best yet. Continue to work on it. You don't know what's going to happen. Don't give up.
Yeah, you know, when I look at this, I think this is a pivotal moment for A.J. Allmendinger, for his legacy in the sport in a lot of ways. He came into the Cup Series. He went back to the Xfinity Series. He's coming back to the Cup Series. In history, when you look back on him, we'll see all the big races he won. We'll see Indy, we'll see all this stuff, but he'll be a journeyman driver who spent some time in each part of the sport. If he wins a championship, that elevates him to a totally different place.
Good point.
That takes him to a place where when people think about it, it's like, yeah, he was in Cup. Yes, he won a championship in Xfinity, which got him back to Cup, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
So I think it can define his career and leave the legacy of what A.J. Allmendinger has done in this sport in a lot better place.
Talk about clutch, Brad. I mean, nobody thought going into the Las Vegas race that A.J. Allmendinger would be the guy, but he made it happen, and actually in sort of dominant fashion.
Yeah, I think the thing with A.J. we have discovered, and it's been his whole career, we always would talk about him when he go to the road courses, is he has absolutely worked on his craft in this Xfinity Series. He's become an all-around complete driver. He has the want-to, he has the equipment, he has the desire. A.J. is very capable every time, everywhere, once he climbs in that race car.
You know, and one good thing about this, they have improved his race cars as this year's gone on.
Yes.
The
Good
first
point.
part of this year, first maybe 2/3 of this year, he didn't have equipment that he could think about winning with.
That's right.
He was just trying to survive. But now the equipment is much better, and I think that gives him a great chance. And to be quite honest, I think this race being at night, the tracks cooled down, gives them a better chance, because I think low grip tracks during the day, during the sunlights when it's really hot, is that not their forte. So I think he's going to have a better chance than what he thought after qualifying today.
So we've talked about Justin Allgaier, we've talked about A.J. Allmendinger, but there are 4 fighting for the championship here today. You've got Cole Custer trying to repeat as a NASCAR Xfinity Series champion. 7th time in the championship for Justin Allgaier. Still has 0 titles. A.J. Allmendinger now at 42 years old, driving for Colleague Racing. He'll be in Cup next year, so he would love to win this championship. And Austin Hill, driving for Richard Childress Racing, a massive win for him and that team at Miami a couple of weeks ago. That has put them in the championship for here this weekend. So if you look at all of those drivers, Brad, you would think, well, Cole Custer won it last year. Why would he not automatically be the favorite?
No, there's too many variables. So what happens on pit road? I mean, I look at Austin Hill. He has the best pit crew. I mean, he could take advantage of that tonight, put himself in position to win. You got A.J. Allmendinger. Same thing. He's hungry. He's going back to the Cup Series. He wants this championship. On and on. These are the variables that are going to mix up this run tonight for all 4 of these guys. You have to execute as a team and maximize your potential to win this championship.
All right, we've talked about A.J. Allmendinger and the shot that is in front of him at 42 years old. Right now, he's with Kim Kuhn.
Marty, A.J. and the other 3 champ drivers are arguably some of the most aggressive drivers in the field. So what are you willing to do tonight to win your first NASCAR championship?
You know, I mean, I think it comes down to how you get raced during the race. Obviously, we're all going to be aggressive, but we also all know each other very well and each other's tendencies and when it's right, when it's wrong. But, you know, we know what it's going to be about at the end of the race. At the end of the day, I would love to win this championship the right way and you know, look at yourself in the mirror and be happy with it. So got a lot of work to do at the Celsius Chevy starting in the back now. And but our motto at Collard Racing, besides trophy hunting, is we don't like to do anything easy. So we're going to go get it.
I want to go back to something you touched on, Kyle, about Austin Hill before we go to driver intros real quick. You said he has a quiet confidence.
Yeah.
Could he pull this off in his first ever shot at it?
Shoot, yes. Yes, definitely. Sometimes I think when I hear people say you got to lose one to win one, I don't believe that.
Really?
I don't believe that. I think if you're prepared, if you seize the moment and you take advantage of everything that you have in your hands and that you can do it, this is a guy that can do it.
One of the cool elements about championship weekends are the driver introductions to the fans here at Phoenix. Let's listen in.
Phoenix Raceway. 32 races have led to this moment. The field has been narrowed to the drivers that will compete for the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to meet your champ for drivers? It is his 7th Champ 4 appearance, and he is seeking his first Xfinity Series Championship title. Driving the number 7 Branch Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports, Justin Allgaier. Your reigning Xfinity Series champion is back to defend his title with 2 wins on the season. Behind the wheel of the 00 Stuart Haas Racing Ford from Ladera Ranch, California, Cole Custer. He punched his ticket into the Champion 4 with his playoff win in Las Vegas, piloting the number 16 Celsius Chevrolet from Los Gatos, California, AJ Allmendinger. Season, including his playoff win at Homestead, Miami, locked him in to race for the championship. Driving the number 21 Bennett Transportation Chevrolet, Austin Hill. Race fans, your championship 4.
DJ, are the nerves peaking right now for these drivers? I see a lot of tense faces right there.
Oh, hell yeah, I guarantee you. You know, you walk out that and you see that trophy right there and you see all the photographers, the fans that are up there in the stands, you realize just how big this moment is right now.
Yeah, I mean, we got a tremendous atmosphere, and these guys are getting ready to go and race for a championship. This is life-changing, life-altering, and it's about time to get it on.
Yeah, it is all business from here for the championship 4 drivers. They are moments away from climbing in their car, trying to win a NASCAR Xfinity Series championship. And at the end of the day, there's that nice big trophy that goes along with that championship as well. And the moment to be able to get on stage and hoist that trophy. And Dave, I believe I see you there by the actual hardware.
I probably stepped into that a little sooner than maybe you were waiting. But
no, it's good.
Here it is, 65 pounds of cast bronze, aluminum accents, and silver plating. Yes, this would look good on almost any dining room set or in a trophy case. Now, only the 4 that you just saw can earn this, but everybody in the field wants one. It's from Jostens, and by the way, they want it bad. So those 4 later today, where will they put it? Will it be a match set for Cole Custer, or will it be one of the other three who gets one for the first time, a unique trophy? And we sure hope to be able to see a great race to give it away today. I think we will, Marty.
Yeah, Dave, speaking of that, Cole Custer knows all too well what it feels like to hoist that trophy. He did it last year, and he'd love to end what's been a fantastic 2024 the same way.
The reigning Xfinity Series champion comes onto the straightaway.
Our team's just done a great job executing and putting ourselves in situations where we can give ourselves a chance.
And Custer is going to win at Pocono.
We're pretty level-headed. We maximize our days, and I think there's no team under pressure that I feel like I would want to be at.
Cole Custer with the win at Pocono. Now he's going to win at Bristol, and he wins the regular season.
It wasn't easy.
Cole Custer's up against the outside wall.
There was a stretch there in the middle of the season where it was a little rough.
They wreck in turn 3.
I think he turned them around after those two got in the fence.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep our eye on these two cars when we go to Phoenix.
We just got to go out there and do our thing one more time.
Cole Custer will try to defend a title he won a year ago.
Cole, you're the defending champion, so you and your team got it done last year. What can you take from that experience to apply to tonight?
Well, it's going to come down to that last run. This is no stand. So our team's done a great so much. Andy's frozen Custer, we got on the car this weekend, so that's awesome.
We apologize for the technical difficulties there, and Cole Custer hoping he can repeat here as champion, which makes a lot of sense on a lot of levels, Kyle, but he also made a lot of enemies at Martinsville as well. Will he be looking over his shoulder today thinking about that?
Honey Badger don't care, dude. Honey Badger, let me tell you something. When you come out here to race, you don't come out here to make friends. You come out here to win that trophy that Dave was just talking about. You come out here to take the money, to kiss the girl, to take the trophy, to head to the house. That's what it's all about. And listen, we hear these guys talking all the time. I'm going to get this guy, and he's going to... We very, very rarely see it, and you never see it in a championship race. You never see these guys take each other out or make it hard on each other. So I don't believe that he has to worry about it. And in all reality, I honestly believe that he has so much on him for the Haas racing team. Yes. This team, Stuart Haas Racing, is closing down. You saw a picture of it earlier. That whole team, we may see the Cup cars, everybody in victory lane, if he can win a championship. That's how big a moment this is for this team. His focus is to win a championship, not only for himself, but for the entire Stuart Haas organization, and go out on top.
Okay, time for you guys to give us your pick to win the Xfinity Series championship. DJ, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm going with the guy that I don't think anybody thinks can really win this thing, but I believe that he can, and that's Austin Hill in the 21. He's got the best pit crew on pit road here tonight. He knows how to get the job done. If they can get him out up front late in this race, there's no doubt in my mind that car becomes twice as wide as what you see sitting right there.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick, but for me, I think it's about the guy who this would mean the most to, and I think A.J. Allmendinger is that guy. This would be career-changing for him and absolutely establish his legacy as a race car driver if he wins this.
Even though he's starting in the back, Brad, you're going to stick with it.
I got a little hesitation, but I'm going to stick with it.
Okay, all right, Kyle, how about you?
Okay, I'm going with Justin Allgaier. I've said at this desk 6 different times and picked him to win the championship. This is the 7th time. I'm not abandoning that horse. I'm going to ride that horse until he wins a championship, and I think tonight's the night.
When we come back, time for tonight's pre-race ceremonies for NASCAR Championship Saturday. It's all coming up right here on CW Sports. Boy, some sad news for the NASCAR family coming out this afternoon. Bobby Allison passed away, surrounded by his family at home. He was the 1983 Cup Series champion, 85 career wins, 4th all-time, the 2011 NASCAR Hall of Fame class, the 2nd class, a 3-time Daytona 500 champion, and original member of the Alabama gang. We're certainly thinking of his brother Donnie, his daughters Carrie and Bonnie as well. Kyle, you obviously were very close to this family. Your reaction?
Yeah, listen, it's always sad when your heroes pass. And Bobby Allison was a hero. Donnie Allison, David Pearson, all these guys that I grew up with watching. And gritty, determined, drive anything, anywhere, anytime. Used to sleep in the back of a station wagon. He would run the Paul Revere race, which was a midnight race they ran in July. He would run that race and then wake up the next day and run the Firecracker 400 at Daytona. I mean, he just wanted to drive. That's all he ever wanted to do. He gave so much to this sport. But he also lost a lot to this sport. He lost 2 sons, Clifford and Davey. But the sport meant everything to him. Driving a race car meant everything to him. And it is a huge hole. So glad that NASCAR and Jim France and Mike Helton acknowledged that 85th win here at the end of his life, and he could pass away peacefully.
If you ever wanted to know what a picture would look like beside the words tough competitor, Bobby Allison's picture would be right there. Toughest competitor, but one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet, and glad to help you at any point in time. Huge loss. Just glad to say that I knew him and raced against him.
Exactly.
Yeah, certainly thinking about the entire Allison family as we get ready for Championship Saturday and today's pre-race ceremonies.
Please rise as you are able. Remove your hats, and veterans, render a hand salute as the Tombstone High School Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. And before our invocation, we have some news to share. Bobby Allison, NASCAR Hall of Fame member and one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers, has passed away peacefully at his home at the age of 86. Bobby was the 1983 Cup Series champion and a 3-time Daytona 500 winner. Please join us in a moment of silence. Here to offer tonight's invocation, please welcome from St. Clair of Assisi Roman Catholic Church, Father Greg Menegay.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, Almighty God, we give you thanks for this beautiful evening, the opportunity to enjoy the sport of NASCAR. We pray for a safe and healthy competition. Bless the drivers and their teams. Bless all of us. And bless our beautiful country. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Here to perform our national anthem under the direction of Tucker Rother and Assistant Director James Hutchins, please welcome Queen Creek High School Marching Band.
For 4 drivers, their championship dreams are now just 200 laps away. When we come back, time to get the engines fired on Championship Saturday. Green flag for the title race in the Xfinity Series is coming up.
And we're going to the Final Four, baby. Hell yeah!
The Final Four has eluded me for so long.
Thank you guys so much. Yes!
My emotions came flooding in.
I told you this is a championship team. Now the world knows it.
There's no reason why we can't do that again. There's some unfinished business for me.
I want to be standing in Phoenix with a trophy and a championship.
And I think that we have the team that can go there and succeed.
Bring it to the checker flag. Let's go, Phoenix, baby. Good job.
We're in this fight together. It's what makes these moments special.
What a season it's been for the championship 4 drivers. Now it's down to 1 race. DJ, what do you like about Cole Custer's chances today?
Hey, the reigning champion is showing some aggression that we really haven't seen out of him before. Watch out for this champion trying to go back-to-back tonight.
Brad, is it finally Justin Allgaier's year?
You know, it could be. He's going to have to overcome, like we talked about, what's inside the helmet. I see no reason why he can't get back to the top 10. Couple good pit stops. Yes, Justin Allgaier could win this championship tonight.
KP, at 42 years old, what does A.J. Allmendinger have to lose this evening?
He's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Like I said before, I think this is a race that is a legacy race for him. I think, as Brad said earlier, he has perfected his craft on the ovals. Tonight's the time to shine.
DJ, you picked Austin Hill. He started the year with the win in Daytona. Why can he end it with a championship?
I think the biggest thing is he's racing 3 competitors here tonight. He doesn't have to go and do the things that it takes to win this race. It's just about beating the other 3, and I think that he has that and the mindset to make that happen.
So these playoffs have been full contact, filled with heated moments and even some occasional post-race fisticuffs. Could it play out like that tonight, DJ?
Oh, just wait till stage 3. You know, it does him no good to get that aggression out in stage 1 and 2. Stage 3 is going to be fun.
Yeah, listen, I can't wait till this thing's over with. I want to hear the comments from pit road or see the punches on pit road.
Let's get the engines fired for Championship Saturday for the Xfinity Series.
Phoenix Raceway. This is the moment you have all been waiting for. Please welcome Xfinity Reward members Darlene McBride and Tiffany Gibson.
Phoenix, are you ready? Hi, I'm Tiffany. It's Bird. Hi, I'm Darlene from Philadelphia. Phoenix, make some noise! Drivers, start your engine!
200 laps, 4 drivers, 1 title. It's time to race for the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship next here on CW Sports. Phoenix, Arizona, site of Championship Saturday for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The title will be decided between Cole Custer, Justin Allgaier, A.J. Allmendinger, and Austin Hill. The math today is simple. There is no math. The highest finisher among those 4 is the 2024 champion. So how does Justin Allgaier recover from wrecking his primary car in practice yesterday? That's the question of the day. Allgaier starts in the back in his backup car, which last ran in Las Vegas just a few weeks ago. But Jim Pullman, his crew chief, told me it clearly didn't get the attention that the new car did, but they've done their best to get it close for Allgaier. Can he make it happen in his 7th try? When I asked A.J. Allmendinger about how practice went, he said, we took off with some decent speed, but it seemed like every change we made in practice sent us in the wrong direction. But then he made this point to me. He said, now we know what not to do with the car today. He said, hopefully that gives us good direction for this afternoon and this evening. He too will start at the back after unapproved adjustments, Dave.
Reigning champion Cole Custer needs no more motivation than to know that the company that he's driving for has closed its doors. It is no more. And so for all the employees of Stewart-Haas Racing, Cole has on his back tonight them and the legacy that is SHR. It's not something he cannot handle. Obviously, he's won this championship before, but he knows the glad hearts and joy that they would feel as things go away to have one last hurrah for the driver of the Stewart-Haas number 00. Kim?
Well, Dave, this is Austin Hill's first Championship 4 appearance, and despite that, crew chief Andy Street told me Austin has an extra confidence he's not seen from his driver this season. He's the most motivated he's been all year. I had a chance to talk to Austin and ask if his prep for this race looked any different than other weeks. He told me he did do a few extra things, but not too much. If he does too much additional prep, he said he psychs himself out and overthinks things. His goal was to remain level-headed this weekend. He was the best qualifier of the Championship 4 and starts from the 5th position.
Thanks, Kim. Well, Marty did mention that there wasn't going to be any math, but I will do a little bit of math here. The age of these drivers is the oldest it has ever been for 4 drivers to be fighting for an Xfinity Series championship. That means a lot of veteran experience behind the wheel tonight to fight for a title. It's NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship from Phoenix Raceway. And welcome into the booth alongside the mayor, Jeff Burton, and our crew chief, Steve Letarte. Rick Allen with you. Jeff, let's talk a little bit about this. I mentioned that these guys are a little bit older as far as fighting for a title, but it is still life-changing if you can win a title in the Xfinity Series.
Well, I think all the experience that those drivers have make it mean that much more. They know the wrecked race cars. They know the injuries. They know the bad races. That has helped build who they are. That's made them tough enough to be in this situation. And this is what you dream of. You want to be in this opportunity with a chance to win the championship. Now go execute.
All right, Steve, we've talked so much about drivers. But it's not just the drivers who are going to win a championship tonight.
That dream that Jeff talks about is more than just the driver's team. It's the crew, the engineers, the pit crew, the crew chief, the spotter, every man and woman at these organizations that are required to put these teams out here and compete for a championship. Being successful here is the top of the mountain, and you just want to know, what is your opportunity in this? If you're a mechanic at the shop, your job is done. You've assembled the car. But if you are a crew chief or a tire changer, will it be the final pit stop or the final pit call that will change the course of this race?
The 7 team, they had to go to work a little bit yesterday even to get their backup prepared. All right, let's take you through the Xfinity Mobile starting grid. William Sawalich, the 18-year-old, was able to win the pole earlier today, so he will bring the field to the green flag alongside Sheldon Creed, who has had so many second-place finishes we've almost lost count. Could he get his first win tonight?
And you see the championship 4 drivers' names in purple. 3 of them were inside the top 10. Now, 1, A.J. Allmendinger, will go all the way to the back of the field. He had to make some changes to the brakes after qualifying.
Sammy Smith also going to the rear. They made a change, an engine change on that 8 car. And we've got to go all the way back to the very back of this field to find Justin Allgaier, because he was involved in an accident in the 4th lap of practice yesterday. They had to go to a backup. That's the same situation that Eric Almirola is in. Those 2 starting from the back in backup cars fighting for a title. All right. Let's listen into the radio, a little pep talk from the crew chief, driver, and spotter. Let's start with the 21 team.
Copy that, brother. 7-9. Go do this, man. Same thing as Homestead. Give me that confidence street. Ain't nobody going to touch us.
Man, y'all been resilient all year long. Today is no different. This weekend's been no different. We've been resilient from a backup car to the win tonight, okay? That's how we're going to do it.
Appreciate all of you, all the hard work. Love you guys. You bet. Stay in the game all night. We'll have a shot at it.
Okay, so we have talked to the drivers. We've heard from the drivers. We've seen the drivers. Whose attitude right now makes you think this guy wants to win a title more than the other 3?
Well, I don't know if someone wants to win it more. I think they all are exceptionally hungry, but I love the experience that Cole Custer brings into this race. They've been here. They've done this. This moment's not too big for him. He's going cup racing next year full time. I just think that they're relaxed. They're loose. They only have one thing to do, and that's win. Really nothing to lose tonight.
Well, shockingly, I'm going to take the guy who's here for the first time, Austin Hill. When we sat down with him on Tuesday and discussed this, I loved one thing he said specifically. He said that he felt his team was feeling the pressure, and he let them know, just give me something close. We don't have to be perfect. Give me a car that can run in the top 5. Give me a chance to, quote, muscle it up and get the job done. I love that approach. I don't know if that's the right answer, but he kind of settled me and motivated me. I'm like, he's now my favorite.
Yeah, so Austin Hill fighting for his first title, which is in his first championship for. Up front and pacing the field is the Toyota GR Supra. That's the official pace car for today's championship race. Again, we mentioned William Sawalich and Sheldon Creed. They make up that first row right behind that Supra. Well, today's championship race, very special for a couple of loyal Xfinity customers and Xfinity Rewards members. The command was actually given by Darlene McBride and Tiffany Gibson, the Grand Marshals. And there's Tina Delgado. She's the honorary starter. She will be throwing the green flag. So a very exciting time for her. All right, let's listen in to the 00 in the Cole Custer pep talk.
What we worked all year for to have an opportunity to go win a championship. Just got one more thing to go do. Let's go finish this job. Yep, 10-4. We got a great group. We got a...
All right. So all the talking is done. This is probably where you're most comfortable, right? You've had to talk to the media all week. You've had to, take pictures, autographs, everything. Now you're strapped in. This is your office.
Now it's time to focus on the race. Go execute the plan that you and your crew chief developed. For a driver, now's the time. Now, when they drop that green flag, just go do your job.
Give me a lap, Rick. If I'm a crew chief, I'm still a little nervous. 5 wide here when we see the green flag through this dog leg. I just want to see my car complete 1 lap, then I'll probably settle in.
All right, 2 by 2, they come out of turn 4, and the championship race is underway from Phoenix. There's that 4 and 5 wide you talked about, Steve. And remember, Marty mentioned it, you don't have to worry about points at all. If you're one of the championship 4, all you have to worry about is your competitors. As long as you finish in front of the other 3, you win the championship tonight.
Austin Hill had trouble off of turn 2. See Jesse Love in that blue, red and white car trying to get underneath him. Now Jesse Love's under attack from Custer.
Riding along with that Goodyear onboard on Cole Custer's car, and he is way down in that dog leg. We're going to see him cut the dog leg all afternoon and evening. Cole Custer in the 00 was to the inside of that 2 of Jesse Little.
And it's awkward for the non-playoff drivers. We talk about the 4 that have the championship on the line. Well, if you're not one of these 4 drivers, you hope to be one someday, or maybe you've been one in the past. You want to race them hard but fair. You don't want to be the story. You don't want your mistake to eliminate one of these drivers. So that's what makes this sport so different, right? The Super Bowl is 2 teams. This is anything but.
Yeah, 38 cars out there, and 4 have an opportunity for a championship. I mentioned Jesse Love in the 2 was on the outside of what we saw of Cole Custer.
Bottom left, A.J. Allmendinger had to start in the back because of a brake issue. Bottom right, Justin Allgaier in the 7 had to start in the back in a backup car, as we heard Marty report earlier. This car ran at Las Vegas. It had some laps on it, but nothing is as good as your primary, right? That's the one you expected to race.
Up front, Sheldon Creed got the lead. Swallow all the way back to 4th from the pole.
We knew that there are going to be quite a few factors in this championship. Will it be a Sheldon Creed going out there and potentially winning his first race and affecting how the other 4 are fighting for that title?
I think one thing that you have to have a little bit of a mind shift, and this is where I believe experience matters. Normally these guys are racing for stage points, right? Tonight it's just about where you finish. And depending on your situation, it changes the tempo of the race. You only have to lead the last lap. And especially for those guys coming from the back, don't get over anxious and get yourself in trouble.
Easier said than done.
They're race car drivers. There's Allgaier. He's already moved up 13 spots. So Allgaier, he has made his way up to 23rd. Fight for the lead as Riley Herbst looks to the inside of Sheldon Creed.
Well, it's not to be forgotten. We talk a lot about the 00 of Cole Custer driving for SHR, closing the doors on its original operation. That 98 is the 2nd Xfinity car from that team. I know they're going to run 2 cars next year, but that's going to be on the Haas factory team, which is a little bit different ownership structure. Same building, but truly a new team. Different employees, some stayed, some have left, as the battle continues between Creed and Herbst.
Yeah, and Creed's going to be one of those drivers.
Yes.
That'll drive for the Haas factory team next year.
And he's under attack from a driver. 2 drivers, actually. We don't know what their plans are for next year. We've heard rumors, but we don't know.
Yeah, Chandler Smith in the 81 is now making it a 3-car battle for a lead here.
You mentioned Chandler Smith. He point blank last week said he had 0 idea what he was going to be doing.
Might be doing construction. He threw that out there as a possibility. Such a talented race car driver.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he is with a hammer, but he's pretty good with the steering wheel. So
really good. Once again, we see Creed running a little bit higher line here, and that opens the door for Riley Herbst.
This is what makes this 1 mile track so much fun to crown champions on. We're down here in 3 and 4, the banked end of the racetrack. You can see the 98's a little bit better. Turns underneath the 18. Probably will turn left right here and cut the dog leg. There you go. Now they're going to 1 and 2, Jeff. A flatter corner, but actually has, I think, more options to drive.
Yeah, much flatter. You saw Riley drive it into the corner just a little bit deeper than Sheldon Creed was able to, and now he's going to take this spot.
Oh, 2 championship 4 drivers battling here. The 7 of Allgaier has worked his way to the rear bumper of Allmendinger and passes Allmendinger for the 18th position.
Those two trying to move from the back to the front as both started toward the rear. And they both try to get by that 45 of Stephen Parsons. All right, Marty, we've seen a couple laps out of Allgaier here in this race in the backup. What are they talking about?
Already up to 18th, did you see on the bottom of your screen, Rick? And if you saw what happened yesterday to Justin Allgaier in practice, you saw the emotion that Allgaier was displaying. He was very upset that they got in that wreck, and this was him talking to Jim Pullman, his crew chief. And in his words, he then got in a fight with the toolbox. Actually, it was a laptop, and there's that emotion from Justin Allgaier yesterday. There's a reason for that, because they got one brand new race car on this 17 so far this year. That was that race car. They started building it in September. They spent 2 months building that race car, getting it ready for what they had hoped at that point would be a championship 4 bid. In fact, Jim Pullman told Justin Allgaier 3 weeks ago, before they were in the championship 4, we're going to go win Phoenix. So that was that brand new car. Steve, have you ever had that situation where you had a brand new car, you put so much effort into it, and then something weird happens and it's gone from you like that? That's why all that emotion from Justin Allgaier.
Oh, my heart broke, because I have absolutely felt it. When Dale Jr. and I were comboed together for the first time, we sat on the pole for the Daytona 500. My dream was to win that Daytona 500 for Dale Jr., and yet here we are, wrecked in practice just a couple hours later. So I understand what it's like when you put everything forward into one effort, but we saw from both the 7 of Allgaier and the 20 of Gibbs preparation, Jeff. They unloaded their backups, and in just 20 or 30 minutes had them on the racetrack.
Yeah, these teams have done a great job of having a bad situation, but being prepared to come bring the fight to win a championship.
Allgaier continues on the move. He's going to try to get by SVG, but it's Riley Herbst that's out front here in the desert.
Undale, Save.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. What's going on here?
Coach saves so much bundling home and auto with the personal price plan, he decided to bundle practice with ballet.
Undale, Save.
Doesn't that just say bundle and save?
Hey, Hutch, less talky, more dancey. Double time. Boodle, Save, Boodle, Save.
Bundle and save with the personal price plan.
I want to see that on game day.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. Head to the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
You like watching things get broken? Like barriers, glass ceilings, and records. Then this playoff season, we're looking for you.
Join us at Toyota Racing. If the first thing you think of when you see a pickup truck is this kind of hauling, we're looking for you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
With so much great entertainment out there, wouldn't it be easier if you could find what you want all in one place?
My favorites.
Get Xfinity Stream Saver with Netflix, Apple TV Plus, and Peacock included for only $15 a month.
Your father has been keeping this a secret his whole life.
Too many people are getting suspicious. We gotta put the genie back in the bottle before it's too late.
You're back already?
I just went to the parking lot. The secret is everything. It's the only thing that gives us a chance at a normal life.
This life is hardly normal.
The NASCAR
Xfinity Series on the CW is presented by Universal Orlando Resort. Enter now for a chance to win a trip to Universal Orlando, plus an all-access NASCAR experience in Daytona.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Tableau TV. Pay once, watch forever. As we watch this battle for that third spot, it is Creed, chased by Austin Hill, and then William Sawalich, who's dropped from the front row and that pole position all the way back to the 5th position. As we ride along with the Bennett on board of Austin Hill.
Yeah, the highest of the championship 4. I know, Rick, it's been well documented. You don't have to win the race to win the championship, just be the highest of the 4. But I think your mentality is to win the race.
Right.
I think you need to assume it's a win. So you take someone like Austin Hill. He's currently not as fast as Creed or Smith or Herbst. So with this many laps to go in the race, 180 laps to go, I think the focus needs to be win. It doesn't take a win, but Jeff, as soon as you start thinking, prevent defense and just be okay, how do you know okay is going to be good enough?
Well, that's right. But remember Austin's plan. Like, just keep me in position, and I will take it from these guys. So I think so far a good start to the race for Austin Hill. And I've been impressed with this team. They have been better in the playoffs at tracks that they typically have been weak on, and it's already started tonight. A good start to this race.
Yeah, Austin Hill, anytime we ever go to a drafting track, you look at Austin Hill and you think, okay, this guy is for sure the favorite here. But a racetrack like Phoenix, you just never know. Kim.
Yeah, and Rick, Phoenix has not been the greatest track to Austin. He has admitted that, but this team, they have tried to work on their short track program in general to learn things, feel like they've gotten better throughout the course of the year. They went off previous notes from this race last year. They feel like they had momentum from that, and then what they brought in the spring as well, they are in the ballpark. Andy Street told me for what they need here today. Right now, the team, including spotter Derek Leland, Dave, just telling him to keep being smart and do what he continues to do as he's in that 4th position.
Second among the championship 4, running in 8th position, Cole Custer. During the break, the car in front of him, Jesse Love, raced him a little too close for comfort. Listen.
Yeah, he's been warned.
That's Austin Hill's teammate right now in front of Cole Custer. Cole's car is just a little bit tight at the initial part of this race, Marty.
So far, plus 12 for A.J. Allmendinger. Actually now plus 11 because Sammy Smith goes around him. A.J. Allmendinger saying on the radio, I just do not have the grip that some of these other cars have. He was able to gain some spots to get up and was trying to keep up with Justin Allgaier. They were through the field together for quite a while, and A.J. Allmendinger had this to say about the 7 car. Listen in.
He's got so much no idea how they get their cars to rolling then have 5-4s.
So, Jeff, sometimes you can do play-by-play of other cars when you're behind the wheel, and that's what Allmendinger was saying about Justin Allgaier. And by the way, welcome to the top 10, Justin Allgaier, plus 27 spots. Jeff, I don't care how good your car is. That's impressive this early in the race. Clearly, Allgaier has something to contend with tonight.
Yeah, there were a lot of questions when I visited with this team before the race. They were confident, but also tons of unknown with this backup car. I felt better about it than they did. We watched practice, and I'm like, your car's pretty good, isn't it? They're like, we don't know. There was a lot of apprehension, but so far, I don't know that they could have a better start to this race. I think it's everything that they needed. I think it's given them confidence. He's getting a great understanding of what this car needs to do better, Steve, and he's relaying that information to Jim so that he can make the right changes at the first stop.
I went and checked on Jim during qualifying, walked pit road, saw the championship 4, and I've known Jim for years, and you can almost see the stress. So I give him the old, hey, man, good luck. Do me a favor, enjoy it. And he kind of had a smirk. He looked at me and goes, I'm trying. I'm trying to enjoy it. It's just, you don't envision this car you've worked month on wrecking 3 laps into practice in somebody else's oil, right? So I think he was kind of coming around, but you could see the weight of the weekend kind of weighing on him.
Yeah. People always ask, wasn't it fun driving a race car? No, it's exhilarating, but fun's not the right word. But for sure, at this point in the race, Justin Allgaier's having fun. Look at this, 3 wide.
These are more fun, Jeff. When you're passing cars, it is more fun. And I will say for the 7, seeing that 0-0, 2 cars up, I think is a mental goal. And if you're the 0-0, right, the 0-0, and you see the 7 coming and you see him go by, that could incite a little bit of panic.
So we've talked a lot about it. And yesterday in practice, 3 laps in, there was fluid put down on the racetrack by the 44 car, and nobody behind him knew it happened. And so in comes the 7. The 9 was involved, the 48, as well as the 20. All had to have extensive work done on the cars, backup cars brought out. And so it was a difficult situation for what Justin Allgaier thought was the best race car they had ever brought to Phoenix. But I'm telling you right now, you look at this, he's running 9th already after starting at the very back of the field. Very impressive start to this race for Allgaier. Hearing there might be some issues, Kim, with the 21.
Austin came on the radio and said the water gauge is pegged. Now, this is an issue they had yesterday at the very end of practice. As he pulled into the garage, he reported that the water temperature gauge was pegged then, too. They looked into it. It was not an actual issue. It was more of a malfunction on the gauge. So, Steve, is this something to be concerned about at this point, or should we just kind of look to what happened yesterday in practice where it was a misread on that dash?
Well, so what happens is some of the gauges connect. Water temperature, oil temperature could be very similar. So if we look right here in this gauges, the TAC is the large one. When you see the flashing red light, I'm assuming that's the water temperature. You have settings. When it gets to a certain temperature, it starts to flash red to get the driver's attention. So I'm not exactly sure I can honestly answer Kim's question because I don't know. Only this team knows whether they think it was just a gauge. I don't see too much panic on the face of Andy Street, but I will say, Jeff, as a crew chief, this is distracting here on the radio. As a driver, you can't love having a flashing red light all night.
Well, and also you can't trust it anymore, so just give me some tape and I'll cover it up. I don't want to see that light.
Could somebody disconnect the flashing red light that's on my dash? Well, Riley Herbst, he hasn't seen anything but a clean track in front of him leading here at Phoenix.
This program is brought to you by Tableau TV.
Start watching TV for free with Tableau.
Switching to Tableau has really been a money saver. Without a monthly subscription is amazing.
Order today at TableauTV.com.
Sometimes your work shirt needs to be for more than just work. Like when it needs to be a big, soft shoulder to cry on. Which is why Downy does more to make clothes softer, fresher, and better. Downy. Breathe life into your laundry.
That's my team out there.
If our network goes down, lives are at stake.
Our comms have to work.
Or the mission won't.
That's why we partner with Verizon Frontline, the network that truly prioritizes first responders.
So we don't worry about getting through. And they're the most reliable 5G network in America.
Out here, reliability is everything.
Extreme or routine, Verizon Frontline delivers.
The #1 network choice in public safety. Learn more. Your mission is our purpose.
You know, when I take the bike out like this, all my stresses just melt away.
I hear that. This bad boy can fix anything.
Yeah, tough day at work. Nice cruiser sorts you right out.
When I'm riding, I'm not even thinking about my painful cavity.
Oh, you shouldn't ignore that.
And every time I get stressed about having to pay my bills, I just hop on the bike, man.
Oh, come on, man. You gotta pay your bills.
You don't have to worry about anything when you're protected by America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
Well, you definitely do. Those things aren't related. So.
Oh, that is a vibrating pain.
I didn't have to spend my life trying to find my calling. Mine found me at an early age. It was just a matter of how good I could get and how far I would go.
At Ram, our calling is to build trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Right now during Ram Power Days, get $4,000 cash allowance on the purchase of most 2025 Ram 1500 trucks. Don't miss Ram Power Days. Hurry in today.
The championship race is at hand. 4 final contenders line up in the desert.
There is so much on the line here.
Only one will be champion. The season-long quest boils down to a single day.
Who's got the magic?
By nightfall, one driver will forever be etched.
This is going to be an epic finish.
In NASCAR history. The NASCAR Championship from Phoenix on NBC and Peacock.
It's time for double the thrill and double the fun. You can enter for a chance to win an unforgettable trip to Universal Orlando Resort, followed by a VIP experience at the 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series opening weekend. Scan the QR code, or you can visit the CWSweeps.com now to enter. You're watching the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship from Phoenix Raceway. Out in front right now is Riley Herbst, the top Championship 4 driver is Austin Hill. And he's worried about potentially water temperature and maybe even water pressure. 2 lights red now, Steve, on the dash.
Yeah, that's the change. I haven't read anything on the radio where he's complained about anything else, but now we have 1 flashing red and 1 solid red. We'll have to keep an eye on this 21 car, as now the 7 of Allgaier has caught the 00 from the back of the field.
Very disheartening, I'm sure, for Cole Custer. He knew that Allgaier was starting at the back, and now Allgaier has made his way up to 6th after starting shotgun on the field. Allgaier, this has to be, and Jeff, you used the word, a confidence boost for Justin Allgaier, who was so frustrated that he wasn't able to have his primary car for this race. The backup car looks to be performing great.
It does, but I would caution this team, do not get overconfident. This racetrack is going to change. You have the best race car, but if you don't make it better, it won't be at the right time. So it's a difficult thing to make changes to a fast race car, Steve, but you're going to have to be thinking about how am I going to make it better, and how's the racetrack going to change?
Toyota on board of William Sawalich. Seeing him now challenge the 00 for that 7th spot. William again started on pole, has fallen back to 8th, and now trying to take 7th away, but very close.
It almost made contact right there. I think he got in the corner pretty deep and was surprised at the little bit lack of speed of the 00 on corner entry, and went up the racetrack to keep from hitting him.
Steve, are we going to see 3 pit stops for these teams? So really 3 opportunities to make any adjustments?
That's exactly right, Rick. They have 4 sets of tires. As we see the 7 3 wide here, working by some lap traffic. 4 sets of tires in the pits. They'll put a set on the end of stage 1, the same at the end of stage 2. They have to pit for fuel in the 3rd stage, so you'll use a 3rd set there. I like that they have that extra set, that 4th set. You'd hate to have a championship driver spin out, not hit anything, and lose a championship because they don't have a set of tires. I like NASCAR making that adjustment for this race. But I really think the recipe to success is only 3 pit stops.
And coming up on 1 to go in stage 1. Pretty uneventful for Riley Herbst out front. He's led 36 of the 44 laps that have been completed. Sheldon Creed was out front for the other 8. Creed right there.
Chandler Smith has run him down. It's been uneventful for the 98, but here comes the 81. Puts the pressure on. Will he just settle in, or will he make an aggressive move here in the last set of corners?
A little bit of a pick there from the 44, Brennan Poole, but Chandler Smith makes it pretty interesting as they come to the green and white checkered flag. It's going to be Riley Herbst who will win stage 1. That's his 3rd stage win this season, and first time that he's been able to win a stage at Phoenix. Chandler Smith, Creed, Austin Hill, again, the furthest forward of the championship 4. Allgaier, though, has to be making everyone look in their mirror as he was able to go from the back to almost a top 5 finish at the end of stage 1. Riley Herbst wins the stage. CW Sports coverage of the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship is brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Switch and save with Xfinity Mobile, plus connect to super fast Wi-Fi on the go. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Credit One Bank NASCAR, American Express Card, and by Toyota. Let's go places. Getting ready for the first round of pit stops as stage 1 is complete. Riley Herbst, one of the 4 championship 4 contenders. When we talk about teams winning a title, Austin Hill, who's running 4th right now, all season long, Austin Hill has had the best pit crew. This is when they really need to shine.
They have the best pit crew, but the driver with the best pit box is a 7 of Justin Allgaier. The #1 pit box here at Phoenix is an advantage. Not quite as much as it used to be. The camera has been moved all the way out here to this yellow line towards the end. It used to be right here, about 75 feet further out, but it's still a huge advantage. You drop the jack, you just kind of have to get rolling the right way. So can the 7 of Allgaier, from qualifying a week ago, that gave him the best pit box here, will it pay off?
And now the cars are making their way onto Progressive Pit Road, and we'll start with you, Dave.
Cole Custer said the rear grip was solid on the exit of the corner, but I need front turn in this car. Fairly significant change coming here. There will be a wrench going in the rear window. Air pressure changes as well, Kim.
Austin Hill in that 21. your bottom left of the screen. Overall free, he said, has to be easy on entry and exit on throttle down because it's driving off the right rear. He needs to be tightened up. This isn't going to be a huge change, looking for an air pressure and possibly a track bar adjustment. They will also give him a piece of tape, Marty, to cover that flashing dash.
A.J. Allmendinger said on the radio, we're getting passed by backup cars. Seriously? He said, I have no rear grip and I cannot get back to the gas on corner exit. What an impressive opening stint. An absolute clinic from Justin Allgaier. 37th to 6. He said he's a little bit tight in the center. That's his only issue. He said, we're really good. If you can help me there, we'll be even better. But they will lose some spots here on pit road, Rick.
Yeah, the race off of Progressive Pit Road, not what Allgaier wanted. He lost 4 spots on pit road. We talked a little bit about Austin Hill. Sure enough, he gained a few. What an absolutely perfect evening for a championship race for the NASCAR Xfinity Series from here at Phoenix Raceway. And under the lights, just a gorgeous facility. And the fans come out in droves to see a champion crowned. As the Choose now is brought to you by Universal Technical Institute. You can learn how to turn your passion into a career by training at one of the schools of Universal Technical Institute. And now Riley Herbst has chosen that outside line, and Austin Hill, after a great pit stop, will restart on the inside of row 1. Let's check in with the pit box. And DJ, how about the march to the front by Allgaier and Allmendinger?
Oh, well, impressive that Justin Allgaier did what he did. But also, when you looked up pit crews, Austin Hill and Cole Custer.
Yeah, listen, but we've seen the same thing that most of America's seen, and everybody's sitting in these stands. That's 7 car. 31 other cars have seen him, too, as he drove by. That's the show right now.
No doubt about it. He picks up 26 spots in 45 laps. What's he going to do starting from 10th? Rick, I think AJ or Allgaier is going to put on a show.
Well, we'll see if Allgaier can make the move from 10th up toward the front. You see the Junior Motorsports owners there. There's Dale Jr. and Kelly right to his left as they are enjoying this race. I'm sure it was a little bit difficult for them yesterday after their guy is involved in an accident on the 4th lap.
Yeah, I talked to him before the race down on pit road. I said, you guys didn't have to make it this interesting. And they said they had no interest in making it this interesting, but they both were confident they could make it happen tonight.
Getting ready for the restart. And again, Austin Hill now on that front row of the championship 4. We'll see what he can do with that clean track in front of him. Riley Herbst racing him hard on the outside as they go into turns 1 and 2. Up the racetrack just a bit there is Austin Hill.
Look at Cole Custer on the outside.
Custer taking the lead away. He takes it from the outside.
That's important to understand. This could be a determining factor late in the restart. Could decide the champion. We see the 7 of Allgaier about 2 or 3 rows back as well.
What a move by Cole Custer to take the lead.
I don't care how many times you watch it. When a car turns left and cuts the dog leg, it just doesn't look, it's crazy looking.
Sheldon Creed dropping back a little bit after making that move.
Like football fields between the cars.
Yeah. Brent on board giving us this view from Allgaier.
You mentioned the ownership on top of that pit box. Rick Brandt, also a longtime supporter of Justin Allgaier. He's on top of that pit box as well.
And a good restart by Allgaier. Picked up 4 spots right there. And that's what you have to do, Steve. You have a bad pit stop. You can't, you don't like it, but you just got to go back to work.
And how about now? You see Chandler Smith moving to the inside of the 7, trying to take that spot away.
Well, Jeff mentioned it's bad. It's great first run, passed all those positions, but he got to kind of take off a little bit easier back in traffic. Now in the top 10, you got to take off a little bit more pace, plus the track is cooling. Those are those adjustments that Jeff talked to. You got to continue to make sure your car does what the driver needs.
And you're going against the better cars. I mean, the guys who are running up front are the better cars. So you've got to work even harder to try to get by these right now 4 cars that are in front of him.
That is a great point, Rick, because Justin Allgaier and that team, they really don't know how their car took off compared to these guys. So you could be a change behind the field in understanding short run speed.
Austin Hill still in front of the 7. And Sam Mayer has moved up there into the 3rd position. Now Riley Herbst putting a little more pressure on Cole Custer on the top of the screen for the lead. And we'll remind you, you don't have to win the race. If you're one of the championship 4, you just have to finish in front of the other 3 as this battle for the lead heats up. Riley Herbst wants to take it back. You know, Herbst has never lost when leading over 30 laps in a race. He's already been up front for 45 of this one.
And I am excited to see the 98 pass the 00 after all the conversation from the Cup race a week ago about how hard everybody was driving. Penalties were handed out. Race manipulation was being challenged by NASCAR and some of the teams. All of that. I wanted to see what the 98 did. I instantly see kind of message delivered. The 98 goes up, passes the 00. Now, it's okay to go by with mittens. You don't want to hit your driver that you're a teammate with. But, Jeff, if he would have just parked it behind him, it would have frustrated me thinking the 98 was faster.
Yeah, and you're always going to try to show respect. And those two guys have done a really good job of being teammates, working well together.
And remember, the guys up front, that's Stewart-Haas Racing, which they're closing their doors at the end of this race. So Tony Stewart, Gene Haas have decided to liquidate Stewart-Haas Racing. There will be a Haas factory team, but as of right now, we've got an issue with the 45. The back completely off of that of Stephen Parsons. And the 14 also involved. So now Greg Van Alst has stopped up against the wall, and the caution has come out. All right, Steve, with 29 laps to go, you mentioned earlier that extra set of tires. Any need to use those now?
No, I think at this point, you know, you run the first 2 stages very straightforward. Just stay on the racetrack. It will be another, to Jeff's point about adjustments, it is another kind of data set to see how your car cycles from some new to some old tires. Let's see exactly what happens. The 5 of Anthony Alfredo on the outside of the 45. 45 looks a little free coming up.
The 5 into the wall.
5 gets into the wall. And then contact with Stephen down on the flat. I don't know if he thought the 45 ran him into the wall. It was hard to tell from that angle. But definitely an odd spot to see contact.
Yeah, and certainly. And then behind.
Yeah, Greg Van Alst in the 14 there. Not sure how that happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Yeah, so that right there, I think NASCAR is going to take a look at. You know, certainly contact the 45 into the side of the 5 in the wall, and then, you know, coming down the racetrack to get in the right rear quarter panel of Stephen. NASCAR is probably going to take a look at that. They've been they have been very strict on hooking someone in the right rear and causing a wreck, and they'll have to make a determination if that was intentional or not. And that's a hard place to determine that, because you're turning left to go down onto the apron, and in all fairness, that could have been just an accident.
Yeah, a little bit more of a violent transition when they go down through the dog leg. Safety crew immediately to 45 of Stephen Parsons, already out of that car. And again, the 14 of Greg Van Alst also involved in this one. So up the racetrack goes the 5, maybe a little contact with the wall there. When they go down, more contact from Alfredo into the 45, and into the wall he goes. CW Sports coverage of the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. The Progressive Keys to Progress program, providing vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com. And by Xfinity Mobile. Switch and save with Xfinity Mobile. Plus, connect to super fast Wi-Fi on the go. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. So again, the championship 4 as they run, it is Cole Custer that has the advantage, running in that second spot. Then Austin Hill 4th. Justin Allgaier just behind him in 5th. And Allmendinger back there outside the top 10 in 12th. All right, we've talked a little bit about the water temperature for the 21. Steve, how do you fix that gauge?
Well, I don't know if there's a way to fix the gauge, but you can definitely fix the frustration. So he asked for a little bit of tape. So let's take a look. We're riding on board here for Austin Hill during the pit stop. The crew member hands him a little piece of duct tape. This is some old school, old fashioned right here. So he's going to just take it and just tape over the gauge. Now, I've heard of ignoring your problems, but I don't know if you could just tape them up in the championship race. But this tells me that Andy Street does truly have confidence. So this is just a gauge thing. There's no chance he would allow his driver to tape up a gauge if he thought if that was any sort of true information. But pretty well executed by the 21 team.
So we were talking a little bit ago about the 5 car. We saw him in that incident. Anthony Alfredo said NASCAR has been strict about hooking someone in the right rear in retaliation for an incident. You see Stephen Parsons gets up the racetrack, gets Alfredo in the wall, and then Alfredo comes down, gets the right rear quarter panel of Stephen and puts him in the wall. And that is something that drivers have consistently said to NASCAR is that is not acceptable, because when you get hooked in the right rear, it just sends the car all but head on into the wall, and it can cause some massive impacts. And we've seen some huge names in the sport get suspended for that same move.
And he has been posted for aggressive driving, the 5 of Anthony Alfredo. Marty.
Rick, we've seen some feisty racing here in Phoenix tonight, including between Justin Allgaier and Chandler Smith. So here's what Allgaier thought about racing the 81. Listen in.
People like the 81, like, he wonders why he's not got a ride for next year. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, my blood pressure is high because people just don't get it.
You all watched it with you. Deep breath right here.
Eddie DeHaan, the spotter, trying to calm his driver down a bit. He had a terrific restart a moment ago, Kim. We'll see if he can replicate that. How about the side of Chandler Smith?
Yeah, Chandler Smith and this team think they did nothing wrong. In fact, crew chief Jeff Mindering came on the radio and said he, meaning Justin's, got more to lose than we do. If he wants to race dirty, that's not in his best interest. And I do not expect this team to be, just pull aside for the playoff drivers. They told me they're here to steal the thunder. They think, based on their season, they deserve to be in the championship 4. They want to come out and win the race here today.
Jeff, did you see anything wrong between the 7 and the 81, the way they were racing each other?
Well, look, if you are Justin Allgaier, you're wanting a little bit of respect that you're racing for the championship. But you have to remember that Chandler Smith, he doesn't have a ride for next year. He's trying to figure out where he fits in the landscape. So, yeah, it's easy to say he's racing me too hard, but he's looking at potentially the end of his racing career, something that you have worked so hard to do, and he has a chance to prove to the world what he can do. So it's a tough balance. Yeah, so the rule, you mentioned it, he was being posted. So here is Anthony Alfredo. They will hold him for 2 laps in the race, and, then they'll have a conversation this week. Will there be something else? But this is an in-race penalty, and 2-lap penalty is a large penalty, Steve.
So blood pressure, I'm sure, is going through the roof right now of Anthony Alfredo?
Well, unless you don't, if he meant to do it, then he's kind of, he's going to say, hey, I didn't mean to do it, right? But yes, it is clearly, it's not the position you want to be in.
All right, so a week ago, Chandler Smith, we talk a little bit about how you race others. Cole Custer did not believe that Chandler Smith, those two raced each other the way they wanted. So a little bit of finger pointing, and then that escalated. Chandler Smith throws a punch.
This is my experience when somebody hits you and they, you can hit somebody and they smile at you, you don't want to hit them again. I've had some moments.
I'm sure when you say it's been your experience, I'm hoping you weren't the one that was delivering the blow. I mean, Ward, you and Ward?
No, you don't hit Ward. I can promise you that.
All right, Dave.
Well, Custer's dad, Joe, prepared for about everything in racing, probably including fighting, but if some of his earliest memories were riding around a traffic circle in a minivan on Dad's lap. That's how he got used to riding around in a circle. But Joe had him in cars as soon as he could, whether it was a quarter midget or even running in go-karts, and they did a lot of that together, getting him ready for this moment, a second championship opportunity in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. But you know what? It wasn't the only sport that he played. In fact, he told me this week in high school, he tried pole vaulting. Why was that? Well, he didn't want to go to gym class. It was kind of boring, he thought. They said, well, then you have to join the track team. And he said, all right, I'm going to try pole vaulting. Guess what? He said there was no future in it. Therefore, I'm going to stick with racing, which I'm better at anyway. But who knew? Cole Custer, reigning Xfinity Series champion, and a pole vaulter in his early days. Rick, he, as a sophomore, went 10 feet, so I don't know how that compares to the track and field that you know.
That's very impressive, actually. I'm guessing that the softer mat that he landed on, probably a lot easier than when he smacks into one of these walls or is involved in an accident here. Getting ready for the Choose, again brought to you by Universal Technical Institute. You can learn how to turn your passion into a career by training at one of the schools of Universal Technical Institute, as they will work their way back down the backstretch and be working on that Choose coming up here. All right, so what we saw out of Cole Custer on the last restart, where he went on the high side and went past everyone, I'm guessing that Herbst is going to take that outside line again, but does Cole Custer line up behind him?
I don't think you would give up the front row, although it did work for Cole Custer, to your point. He had that wide entrance into 1 and 2 and ended up taking the lead. I think you would have to take the front row, but we're going to wait and see. I think they're going to wave it off this time.
They waved it off.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
Choose this time.
Riley Herbst went over the box, and you're not allowed to do that, so.
Yeah, I think the thing about this opportunity, it's not just about track position now. It's what are you learning that your car will do on a restart with this many laps on your tires. You might be in this position late in the race. You need to know what your car can and cannot do, Marty.
A.J. Allmendinger's hitting in 12th right now, so how's the mood behind the wheel? Listen in.
No difference, man. We got what we got. It's what we fight here. I mean, like, can't lean on anything. Just...
Copy that. Did we make it any better right there? Is that the right direction at least?
No. Honestly, no.
So, Steve, it seems like it's kind of set into resolution, I think, at this point with A.J. Allmendinger. But Alex Yantz asked the question, did we make it any better? That was kind of the feedback in practice. We did not make it better. So how do you keep your driver in the game, Steve, if you're Alex Yantz on top of the pit box?
Well, you're going to do the best you can at trying to motivate him, but you also got to be honest. You can't make up the speed that the 16 currently doesn't have, and not every car just needs a balance adjustment. When you make adjustments, it's not only to make it tighter or looser, but what I hear out of the 16's radio, Jeff, is just an overall setup that doesn't have enough grip. Right? I mean, let's understand this. We talk about speed. What is speed? You drive down to the corner, the car has to track and change direction. And I can make it where the front tires don't work or the rear tires don't work, but everyone doesn't have the same amount of grip. There's other things built into the car, and what you hear in the dejection of AJ's voice is that we aren't like a balance change away. I'm watching this 7-car drive away from me. He just has more overall grip than I have. You got to empathize with him, right? Because he's frustrated. He knows what's in front of him.
He's already shaking his head right now in the car. But we've seen this out of A.J. Allmendinger. He wears the emotions right there on the sleeve. And he also celebrates, you know, as much fun as any driver we've seen when we saw him win at Vegas.
Well, the one thing I would be selling him is that, look, Custer, Hill, Allgaier, they are better than us. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm tell you the truth. But they're also all up there together. So we don't know how this ends. You know, we think it's going to take a race win or a restart or this, but we can have 3 wide chaos wrecking into turn 1. Like, a championship is awarded to whoever finishes the highest. It doesn't tell you how that's going to happen.
Championship 4 on the scoring pylon on the left. You'll see the purple line underneath those championship 4 contenders. Back underway, Cole Custer all the way to the bottom of the racetrack this time. Let's see what he does when he gets into 1 and 2 here. And Riley Herbst going a little bit lower on the exit of 2. That opened the door for a moment for Sam Mayer, but then closed right up. And here comes the 7 of Allgaier.
To your point about lane choice, Rick, you know, the inside of the front row hasn't worked for anyone who has chosen it yet. I think people are going to have to make adjustments.
Custer has fallen all the way back to 4th. Austin Hill running in the 8th spot, looking up, and here comes Custer on the outside.
Already we've seen Cole Custer. He's willing to go to the outside. He likes the way his car drives on restarts on the top of the racetrack. Mark that. And if you're paying attention as a driver that's competing for him in a championship in a late race restart, you cannot give him the top.
Again, only 14 laps remaining. Stage 2 as Chandler Smith in the 81 slides. And will the caution come out?
Get a spin around, get going.
It does.
Caution.
Running 7th. So another restart coming up.
Give me a lane.
Yeah, I think you see the 18 of Sheldon Creed. He's just expecting the 81 to go lower on the apron. We've seen on restarts, drivers will drive, 2 or 3 car widths down on the apron, and that was just, those two drivers just didn't have it worked out, and Sheldon Creed just turns left, not expecting Chandler Smith to be there.
Right along with Austin Hill.
That's the best way to pass, guys.
So, I mean, Sheldon Creed came down on the 81. Is there fault that you can give to these two?
Well, again, it was just Sheldon Creed just thought that Chandler was going to the bottom and be lower on the apron, and he just misjudged where Chandler was going to be. It's a difficult racetrack because it gets so wide, and you don't always know where the other guy's going.
3 cautions already from here at Phoenix. This time it's teammates trading a little paint, and the 81 goes around. A few came to pit road, but you'll see A.J. Allmendinger currently running 3rd. He did not come to pit road, so that has him in front of the other 3 competitors in this championship 4. Let's get a check-in from pit road. We'll start with Dave.
Rick, upper right, Cole Custer. He called his car a smidge tight. He got 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel to send it back down pit road, and he's running 12th now. We'll see where he chooses, Marty.
Dave, the reason to pit here before the end of stage 2 with 120-plus laps to go, they can divide it evenly from here to the end of the race. Justin Allgaier said his car was just a little bit tight. Much better stop for the 7 team this time. And you mentioned it, Rick. A.J. Allmendinger decided to stay out. Alex Yance told him, listen, I think the leaders are going to pit. Our only play here, let's do the opposite. They were the lowest running car of the playoff championship 4, Kim.
Well, Marty, Austin Hill told his teams he did not think they made the right adjustment on that first stop. He needed more out of the car. It was too loose. He could not be as aggressive with it as he wanted. He said it was sideways with the rear, so they did a wedge adjustment this time, 2 rounds out on the right rear, as well as an air pressure adjustment for Austin Hill.
And one thing to keep in mind, Rick, you see that Creed, Love, Allmendinger was last on pit road at lap 50. These drivers at lap 79. While that looks like a long time of 29 laps, most of that has been run under yellow. The leaders only have about 10 laps of hard racing on their tires, so there is an argument, and I would think the plan would be that here in 8 more laps, you still don't come to pit road. I think you've made your bet at this point, and you're going to have to commit. Now, that plan would go out the window if these new tires just show unbelievable speed at the start of this run here.
8 to go in stage 2. Back into the gas they go. Sheldon Creed rocketing from that high line, trying to get in front of Jesse Love as they go into turn 1.
Uncomfortable time for the other playoff drivers as they're back here in the middle of the pack. I'm going to call it, I don't know, 6 wide, Rick? Where do I start?
I would say at least 6 wide. And do they sort it out down the backstretch? They do. Yeah, following back just a bit, though, as we see the 20 of Eric Almirola going forward. Falling back, it looked as though the 20 of Eric Almirola, while he was going forward, it looked like the 00 was struggling back there, or 88, excuse me, Connor Zilich in the 88 was struggling, and he was going the wrong direction, is now once again 4 and 5 wide.
Right now, the big loser in all of this is that 21 car on the bottom of 3 wide. Look at the guys he was just racing with. They have put a lot of cars in between themselves and the 21 car.
Sammy Smith's going to try to go by on the outside as well as we ride along once again with Austin Hill. That violent dog leg that they try to cut coming off of turn 4. Very low line as Austin Hill's going to try to get by Matt DiBenedetto in the 38.
Yeah, that was not a good sequence for this 21 car, and you never know when you lose some spots on a restart if that's going to hurt you can you get that track position back?
Steve, what did you say the play was going to be for Allmendinger? Does he come to pit road when the caution comes out?
Well, if he could get out in some clean air and show that he had car enough to lead, I think he was going to have to stay out at the end of the stage and keep his track position. But the problem is Almirola has already got by the 16 of Allmendinger. You now have Allgaier right on his rear bumper. So I think at this point, you're going to have to pit and put fresh tires on in 4 more laps. Look at this 7 car squeezing it. Makes contact with the 98. Very lucky. It's going to have to see if the left rear of the 7 has any damage, if the tire has any damage. That was an aggressive move by the 7. 114 to go in the race. There you go. Left rear lettering's gone. That tire has made contact with the 98.
And it doesn't look like Riley Herbst is too happy about the way he passed him as he gets aggressive on the inside now.
Yeah, I understand the need and the feel to go forward, but with 113 to go, you just wonder if that's a necessary move.
Well, we talk about aggression. He restarted 14th on this restart, and he's running 5th now.
Cole Custer's coming up behind him as well. Here comes the 00. So now the championship 4. The leader of them is Allgaier. It's Custer, then Allmendinger. There's that contact.
The left rear tire now going down, they think, for Justin Allgaier. So how could that have happened, Jeff? Obviously, that contact. Yes, there you go. They think the left rear tire is coming apart for Justin Allgaier. So, Jeff, why make an aggressive move like that and put your car in a dangerous situation like this?
They're simply fighting for track position, but the left rear tire is definitely low on this car. They're trying to make it until the caution. So they're staying on the racetrack. This is a risky move.
The negative is if the tire goes completely down, not only could you spin out, but it could go flat and tear the quarter panel off. Pit road's closed now, so if you pit here, you'd be at the end. He could really just slow down. Like right now, they're coming to the checker. He could just lift right here and just give up all these positions anyway. He's not going to do it.
Coming to the green and white checkered, it will be Riley Herbst sweeping the stages here in Phoenix, as he won stage 1 and now stage 2. And Herbst has been out front for 65 laps. Allgaier is going to be able to nurse it all the way back around. There was some contact right there between stage winner Riley Herbst and the 7 of Allgaier. And more contact there. CW Sports coverage of the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship is brought to you by Universal Technical Institute. Learn how to turn your passion into a career by training at one of the schools of Universal Technical Institute, the exclusive automotive educational provider for NASCAR for over 20 years. Visit uti.edu. Let's listen in to the 7 radio. Not too happy right now with Riley Herbst.
All right, well, we can thank Riley for putting us behind. My something is that 98 can be firewall deep for all I care at this point. Yeah, well, we'll get back to him and do it. And do what we need to later. He drug the left rear quarter panel like 3 times. He just kept running into me on purpose in the left rear.
Let's look and see what the contact was between the two.
Yeah, the first contact that we see down the back straightaway, 98 and the 7 get together. Allgaier feeling like that's on purpose, and then off of turn 4. You see this right here, the 7 of Allgaier. He's trying to get underneath Allmendinger, and Riley Herbst is there. And Riley Herbst almost spun the thing out with that contact. Nice job saving it.
Well, the result of all this is now the 7 will have to come down pit road, change that left side. I think the left side has air in it, but I just don't believe that's a gamble you want to take with a car that's already driven from the back. We're yet to get to halfway in this race. You have to just come put fresh tires on it, Marty.
So A.J. Allmendinger, top of your screen, said, I am, quote, tired of this man. I'm fighting the same thing every lap. It's miserable to drive. They can drive way deeper than I can in the corner, and I'm just chattering the right rear. So he feels like they need some pretty significant adjustments on the 16 car. Meanwhile, just going to be left side tires only here for the 7 car of Justin Allgaier. And there was further radio from Jim Pullman to his driver. So an interesting mix there. Older right sides, brand new left side. Steve, how would that affect the handling of the car?
Well, probably will free it up a little bit, turn a little bit better with the cooler left side tires and lower air pressure. But the strategy is they didn't want to burn another set of tires. Remember, this is technically the 3rd set of lefts that have gone on. That leaves them 1 whole set of tires and a set of fresh rights. So that leaves some opportunity still late in the race.
The biggest issue with that is this run, you're not going to learn much on how your car drives.
Champ 4 right now, Allgaier.
The championship race is at hand. 4 final contenders line up in the desert.
There is so much on the line here.
Only one will be champion. The season-long quest boils down to a single day.
Who's got the magic?
By nightfall, one driver will forever be etched.
This is going to be an epic finish.
In NASCAR history. The NASCAR Championship from Phoenix on NBC and Peacock.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Tableau TV. Pay once, watch forever. We want to take a look at the Toyota driver update, and right now, closest to the front is Eric Almirola running in the 2nd spot. Remember, he is running for a championship. It is the owner's championship, and as long as he finishes in front of the other 3 that are competing for that, and you pull Custer out of that mix, but as long as he finishes in front of the other 3, he can win the owner's championship for Joe Gibbs Racing. Very successful year for that 20 team, multiple wins. It's been an impressive run, 9 wins for the 20 here in 2024. And KP, all right, of the 4 championship contenders, has one done better with the pressure up to this point?
I think Custer's done better so far. When I look at it, you know, when you guys at home watch these in-car cameras, there's a pop-off valve on these helmets. And when the pressure goes up, and we've seen it. Austin Hill with the water temperatures. We've seen Allgaier here with situational awareness, knowing where he is on the racetrack. And we've seen it out of AJ. Yeah. AJ has screamed from lap 1 that this thing is not handling. So his pop-off valve is dancing up there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and it's too bad for AJ. He's having a tough night. His race car's not handling the way he wants it to, so he's struggling. But I think Allgaier keeps bouncing back. He's had some significant things happen since the start of the race, yes. And that is a fast race car still. I'm keeping my eye on that 7.
Yeah, fast race car there, but they're on differing strategies as far as the tire situation goes. This stage starting is going to be very interesting, Rick.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Pop-off valve, interesting. Jeff, do you agree with that?
Yeah, and I think for AJ, you know, when you're having this kind of day, you just need to get it out. You need to express it, right, and get it going. And then you just got to go back to work, right? I mean, you cannot give up. You never know what's going to happen. Steve said it earlier. If I'm the crew chief, I'm making a big adjustment. But I want my crew chief saying, we're going to get it, bud. We're going to get it. We're going to make something happen. And with a guy like AJ, I think some positive reinforcement's a good thing.
So if you're looking at trends, again, I'm going to remind you, the championship 4, they don't have to win the race to win the championship. But trending, the last 2 races that were swept, meaning stage 1 and stage 2, were won by Austin Hill and Eric Almirola. Well, guess what? Riley Herbst has swept the first 2 stages. Can he finish it out? He's out front, and he's getting a little bit of help now from the 00 of Cole Custer, who pushes him out there to the front. Almirola falling back. He's 3rd, going back to 4th now. Did not restart very well, and he's under fire from Connor Zilic in the 88.
Contact between the 26 and the 28, sends the 28 up the racetrack right in front of the 7 of Allgaier. Allgaier and Allmendinger. You picture Allgaier really well. That bright red Brandt Chevy jumps right out of the pack. Easy to pick up on those higher shots. Now you're on board with Allgaier.
Fresh left side tires for Allgaier.
Yeah, he restarted on the bottom, and you know he gained a few, but then got kind of parked down in the middle of 1 and 2, right on the bottom.
And we're hearing right there, restart violation for Allgaier.
So remember the rules. You have to stay in your lane until the start-finish line. Let's take a look what the 7 does. See if he changes lanes before the start-finish line. Right there. Back it up about 5 or 6 frames before the start-finish line. Keep going and go back, and we're going to go back. He should be behind the 11. You freeze it right there. The 7 needs to be behind the 11. That is the rule. I think this is clear as day. It's unfortunate, but clear as day that the 7 went left before the start-finish line. I hear the argument on the radio. Justin, I understand in real time, that's probably like, a clap of your hands. It happens right away. But on replay, Jeff, in my opinion, that was a clear call NASCAR had to make.
4 of these penalties last night in the truck race. We need to pay attention to what goes on in the races prior to this. This isn't a new rule. This happens at every racetrack. However, at this racetrack, it is a little more difficult for the driver because the restart zone is in a corner. There's nowhere else that we have a restart zone actually in the dog leg, and that makes it very inviting to hang a left to shortcut the front straightaway to get to turn 1 quicker. But drivers have to know the rule. This is a clear violation of the rule. It's no different than every racetrack we go to. You have to stay in line until you get to the start-finish line. It's the same rule at every racetrack.
You give up about 23, 22 seconds just rolling pit road here, so the 7 was able to serve the penalty, come out in front of the 98. So a quick yellow right now. He's back to the back of the field, still in the lead lap. So Allgaier fans, don't give up yet. 95 to go. Your driver can still have a chance. Well, I take back everything I just said, because the number 1 penalty is you can't have a penalty on top of a penalty. Now the 7, too fast rolling pit road. He'll have to serve another drive-through. This will be nearly insurmountable for the 7. You see the frustration from the crew chief. You just can't. You have to be conservative down pit road. This has been the 7's year, though, has it not? Great race cars, fast race cars, leading laps. Some self-induced. Not all mistakes. They've had some bad luck fall their way this year. But now they have a clear violation on the restart and then too fast while serving the penalty.
This is his 14th season in the Xfinity Series. He is desperate to win a championship. And unfortunately, so far, just some poor decisions. And he is a very popular guy in the garage. People want to see him do well, but this is just mistakes you cannot make.
Jeff, let's look at it again. He's definitely losing a lap right here, serving his 2nd penalty. Let's go back to the original penalty on the restart. Remember, you must stay in lane. We're in the restart zone, following the 11. You see the green cactus up here. This is a start-finish line right here. We stop it. It's clear. He turns left before the start-finish line. You're not allowed to change lanes until the start-finish line. You mentioned it 4 times last night. This is something that should have been reviewed. Maybe it was reviewed within the team, but either way, right there, I have that as changing lanes already.
Oh, no question. It's a very clear violation. It's not a question. The call is right.
But then he compounded it by speeding on pit road while serving that penalty. And so he wasn't a lap down until speeding, and now he is scored a lap down.
So Cup drivers, pay attention.
Yeah, make a note.
Same rule happens tomorrow. 2 nights in a row we've had these penalties.
So now the 7 is a lap down.
And not the highest scored lap down car.
He's a straightaway in front of the 98. Now if you're the 7, you just need to take a breath. You can't do anything about it now. You're going to need a little bit of a combo here. You're going to need 1 yellow to bunch up the field. Another yellow to try to get up to the free pass. Jeremy Clements, the 51 car, is the first car 1 lap down. He is nearly a half a lap ahead of the 7.
Yeah, and unfortunately, without cautions, what's going to happen is the 98 or whoever the leader is going to start catching the back of the pack and putting more cars a lap down, making it that much more difficult. Justin Allgaier needs a group of cautions to get back in this race.
Well, with all of that going on with the 7, let's get back to the race at hand, right? Allmendinger with a few lap fresher tires. They're not very much fresher. What do they got? Let's see, 21 for the leaders, 12 for Allmendinger. So we'll call it 9 lap fresher tires. Restarted 19th. Here he is passing the 20 for the 6th position. Could this be the strategy call? Hey, what makes your car have more grip than everybody else? Apparently 9 lap fresher tires. Because they got less grip earlier.
And whatever changes they've potentially made for Allmendinger. He had mentioned before that whatever changes they made weren't helping, didn't make any difference. So maybe they went a little more aggressive on some changes this last pit stop. Riding along, looking back from the Celsius onboard of A.J. Allmendinger.
This is going to be like new life for this 16 car, right? Because while they're still not there yet, the double zeros in front of them, at least they're going forward. This is going to be new energy to a driver that you've already mentioned, Rick, wears his emotion on his sleeve. Now they could turn the negative, the frustration into a positive.
Riley Herbst out in front of the field at Phoenix. Again, looking for a win to finish the 2024 season. Cole Custer, the leader of the Champ 4.
My car insurance, so I saved hundreds. But the money I saved, thought I'd get a wax figure myself. Oh, right in the temporal lobe. Beat it, punks! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. Head to the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
That's my team out there.
If our network goes down, lives are at stake.
Our comms have to work.
Or the mission won't.
That's why we partner with Verizon Frontline, the network that truly prioritizes first responders.
So we don't worry about getting through. And they're the most reliable 5G network in America. Out here, reliability is everything.
Extreme or routine, Verizon Frontline delivers.
The #1 network choice in public safety. Learn more. Your mission is our purpose.
I didn't have to spend my life trying to find my calling. Mine found me at an early age. It was just a matter of how good I could get and how far I would go.
At Ram, our calling is to build trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Right now during Ram Power Days, get $4,000 cash allowance on the purchase of most 2025 Ram 1500 trucks. Don't miss Ram Power Days. Hurry in today.
After careful review of medical guidance and research on pain relief, my recommendation is simple. Every home should have Salon Paws. Powerful, yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend Salon Paws. It's good medicine.
Celsius, essential energy. Down south, there's a place where moments are made at 180 miles per hour, where the thrills give you chills that are second to none. And at every turn, anything can and will happen fast. Some say it's just a NASCAR race, but it's Fast Atlanta, America's destination for acceleration, home of full throttle throwdowns, partying into the night, and unbelievable photo finishes. NASCAR returns to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Ambetter Health 400. Experience it for yourself. Get tickets now at atlantamotorspeedway.com.
It's time for double the thrill and double the fun. You can enter for a chance to win an unforgettable trip to Universal Orlando Resort, followed by that VIP experience at the 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series opening weekend. You can scan the QR code or visit thecwsweeps.com right now to enter. I want to take a look at the Xfinity fastest lap. It was Chandler Smith, and it was way, way back on lap 4. 27.90, averaged over 128 miles an hour around this 1 mile track. And right now, Chandler fighting for the 9th position. Almirola in front of him as we see Sawalich and the Toyota onboard. The 19 in 10th. Chasing after Chandler Smith. Heating up a little bit on the inside of him there was the 10 of Daniel Dye.
Yeah, it's good racing right here. Side-by-side battle. It's Difficult to finish the pass off at this racetrack. The second and third lane gets really good, really gripped up.
Oh, that's some tight racing right there. That's like an offset 3 wide, and it worked out. Jeff, we'll let you check back in with the 7 of Allgaier. I mentioned a half a lap between him and Jeremy Clements, the first car 1 lap down. The half a lap has turned into about 500 feet or 500 yards probably. Here's the 7, 39 in front. Next car in front is this bright yellow, greenish 51 car of Jeremy Clements. The 7 has a chance to get back in the free pass position. He just needs to do it before Herbst starts lapping the back of the field.
Well, that's the problem, because here you go. The 98 of Riley Herbst. He is right to the back of that field. There he is. He just gets by the 28 car, and now the 28, he is the first car lap down of Ryan Sieg. That's how quickly it happens.
Jeff, good news. We're looking for good news for the 7.
Good news, bad news. It was good news for a little while, and then Riley Herbst has made it bad news. All right, Steve, when does the pit window open for these guys to come to pit road?
Well, they can make it on fuel now, about 85 to 95 laps, so the window is technically open. The leaders, even the guys on the oldest tires, they've been out there for about 47 total laps, 35 of them green. So they have at least 45 more laps worth of fuel, probably a little bit more. The question is, when do you come? If you're Cole Custer, who's running second, leading the championship 4, you don't want to come first. You can take a breath. No reason to be the guy risking it. The question is Allmendinger or Hill. No offense, Allgaier's a lap down. He's no risk either. So Allmendinger or Hill, can one of them, Jeff, come early and force Custer to make a decision?
Well, I think that's what you have to do, because this 21 car of Austin Hill, he's back in 15th position. So if this thing goes green long enough and everybody pits at the same time, he's going to come down pit road with a ton of track position. Somehow he has to try to gain on Cole Custer.
Let's check in on pit road with the 4 Champ 4 drivers, and we'll start with you, Dave.
Cole Custer is pretty happy with his race car right now, and racers are typically superstitious. They do the same things to try to do the same results when they are positive. Last year, before they came to this race, they ate at the Waffle House after Martinsville. Last week, after Martinsville, they ate at the Waffle House again. JT, Jonathan Toney, and the whole team said, we're going to do that and make sure we put everything in line to try to win here again, Marty.
Dave, A.J. Allmendinger sitting in the 6th position. The guys made the point a moment ago. Looks like a little bit of life here with this 16 team. AJ said, I'm still fighting the same exact things. And then a spotter, Coleman Presley, came on the radio, said, I understand that, but your lap times are very close to Cole Custer. We're in the range, Kim.
Well, for Austin Hill, it's been restarts that have been his Achilles heel. He tried multiple times to restart on the inside lane. That didn't work. The car was too loose, could not find momentum. And then last restart, he tried to use the top. That also did not work. This car still needs a lot of work. Austin telling the team it's so easy to get in a 4-wheel slide, and the front's starting to chatter really badly. He said it's disconnected on the entry center to exit more. He'll look for more changes next time they're on pit road, Marty.
And Kim, Justin Allgaier back in 28th now, trying to tack down Ryan Sieg. The problem is, as the guys pointed out, Riley Herbst keeps finding cars to put a lap down. He's in a little bit of a window. If he can get to Sieg, he can be the first car 1 lap down. Jim Pullman imploring him on the radio, do not burn through these tires. I'm going to need all I can. Remember, they are down half a set to the rest of the field.
Half a set in a lap. It's a bad combination, but I like Jim Pullman. Keep crew chiefing. You got to just keep firing. 70 to go, Rick. You can't give up.
All right. Think about this. If you're a Stewart-Haas Racing employee, right now you are leading the race and you're leading the championship. What a way to end 2024.
Derrick Henry.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto! Home!
Okay, and this is auto again, right?
Auto!
Hey, this is my living room.
Home!
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derrick.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Camila tried the new scent of Gain Relax Flings, and it changed everything. Hey, Dave, don't knock it till you smell it. New Gain Relax Flings.
I was drowning in debt.
I had over $36,000 in debt.
If I would have just made the minimum payments, it would have taken me 59 years to pay off.
National Debt Relief can significantly reduce the amount you owe.
National Debt Relief reduced my debt by over $27,000.
With National Debt Relief, you have a powerful team that knows how to talk to your creditors.
National Debt Relief, they got me out of debt. Call or visit nationaldebtrelief.com to get started.
Everyone's running to Subway for 3 all-new spicy footlongs. Wait, Subway did what? That's right. They're bringing the heat with creamy sriracha, jalapenos, and all-new ghost pepper bread. But hurry, these subs are only here for a limited time.
This is the story of the one. The one who believes being prepared is not just a way of life. It's how he helps everyone stay safe. He sweats the small stuff before it becomes big stuff. For the one, being an unsung hero in a building full of everyday heroes is just how he likes it. The industrial-grade products you need delivered fast. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thursday night football on Prime. It's on.
That's what we do on Thursday. It's fireworks.
Thursday night football is on. This week, it's an old-school NFC East showdown between Washington and Philadelphia. It's Jaden Daniels and the Commanders.
This is a team that could surprise a lot of people.
Versus Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Touchdown. Let's go. Stream Thursday night football. Commanders, Eagles at 7 p.m. Eastern. Only on Prime.
If you're looking for a cable news network which respects all Americans, then you have a new home with News Nation. See why News Nation is America's fastest growing cable news network. To find News Nation on your screen, go to joininn.com. You're watching the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship, and there are only 64 laps to go in this race to determine who will hoist the trophy at the end of this one. And the 2024 season, now just 63 laps to go as we saw Riley Herbst go by. Riley Herbst, a blistering pace, and he has put another car, Ryan Ellis, a lap down, which means Allgaier has a long ways to go if he wants to get in the free pass position.
Well, and that's really where we're at. So 63 to go. Let's kind of set the stage for these championship four and what opportunity I think is in front. For Cole Custer, the 26-year-old from just across the border here in California, right? He's a West Coast guy. He's looking to go back-to-back in his championship runs right here. I think he's done what he needs to do. He has 5 seconds over A.J. Allmendinger and a faster race car. There's no reason for him to be aggressive and be the first to pit road. So if we look back a little bit more, we look at A.J. Allmendinger running 7th, 6 seconds back, right? So A.J. is still not close enough, Jeff. I think pitting early might work for the 16. 6 seconds back, he could pit, take tires, put pressure on the 00. The problem is for the 21 of Hill, he is 15 seconds back from Custer. So pitting early for the 21 does him no good. You can't throw a Hail Mary if you're down 14. That doesn't help you. You have to be within touch to make it happen. He's too far back to do something.
The 7 of Allgaier, he simply is going to need a series of cautions. You know, there's no way that this thing will go green and he can get done what he has to get done. So he's not going to probably need one caution. He's going to need 2 or 3 to get back in this game.
Yes, such an unfortunate chain of events that took place for Allgaier to get him in this position.
Well, and it's those, he made the mistake coming on a restart violation. And it's those things that keep you up at night where you can't sleep, because you look back on it and you're like, that was on my shoulders. That was the moment I needed to be prepared for. And those are the things, Rick, that just drive you nuts, because you've worked so hard. We talked about it. When we came on air, we talked about the pressure and the desire to win a championship, and you don't want to be the one that takes it away from your team, and it's just things you never forget.
On Tuesday, he told us he had a different mindset. Well, that mindset changed completely on Friday. When they had practice, they came out, and Allgaier, feeling like he had the best car he's ever had at Phoenix, gets in fluid on the racetrack, gets into the wall. They have to bring a backup out.
Had to start in the back. Brought a backup out, had start in the back of the pack, but then really good pace. Things are going well, then contact, and then this restart violation, changing lanes before the start-finish line, gets penalized, has to come down pit road, and then made the mistake of making it worse. Speeding on pit road while serving that penalty. Now he's a lap down.
Yeah, and it's just crushing him even more as he drives by the 21 of Austin Hill. Car is just so good, but the mistakes is what plagued the 7 all year long. And when they look back here, now the record practice wasn't a mistake. That is as bad a luck as you could possibly get, oil in front of you on the racetrack. But tonight, I really think the team and Allgaier showed up with a car that was capable, and then a couple mistakes. But look, you know, such are sports in the postseason. The pressure is real. We could talk about it. You could deflect it. You could do all of those things. But the pressure to perform, that is why we're going to celebrate this champion, Jeff, right? Because this pressure is real.
It is real, but don't give up.
No,
I mean, this night is not over for Justin Allgaier. Look, it's becoming more difficult. That is clear, but there is a pathway for him to get done what he needs to get done. He's going to have some luck for it to work out, but it's not over.
Leader has 54 green flag laps, 12 yellows. We'll call it 60 total laps. Probably another 30 laps of fuel in the tank, so he can go all the way to about 25 to go, Dave. But what are you hearing out of the 98?
Well, Steve, I was just going to say, this is reminding me of his dominating performance at Las Vegas last October when he won for the very first time. This 98 is on fire. His second career win was at Indianapolis earlier this year. What a win it was. What a final couple of laps as he now brings his 98 car to pit road. They would like to win again before they are done with Stewart-Haas Racing. No plans announced for the future for Riley Herbst at this point. But at this point, he's coming to pit road. You can see on the lower right, they're getting 4 fresh tires and then heading back out with a full load of fuel till the end. Devin Restivo, his crew chief, told me it's been so frustrating not to win since Indy back in July. They're really headed toward doing it here tonight, Marty.
Chandler Smith coming down pit road. They had the spin a little bit earlier. He's here making their final stop. So the window now open. What you'll see is a lot of cars coming over the next 10 laps or so. But those who pitted at lap 95 might try to make a longer run here, Kim.
For Austin Hill, they came a little earlier than they wanted to. Austin said tight across the middle, but it feels like he destroyed his front tire. Specifically, he felt like the right front might have been cording. They said, if you need to bring it to us, come now. He's down on pit road. They will make a big chassis adjustment, take 4 fresh Goodyear tires, and put fuel in, Marty.
Here comes A.J. Allmendinger down pit road to match Austin Hill. He said the car fell off and just had no grip at the end of the run. That's his biggest issue for fresh Goodyear tires. Dave, how about Cole Custer?
You can see him locking it up there, just trying to get it into his pit stall and avoid the cars there. It was just a little bit tight and then went to fairly tight another 10 laps later. So they'll make an adjustment here. Cole Custer with command before this cycle of green flag pit stops started happening. As far as the championship goes, that was a good stop for his crew.
So they had more fuel on board, but basically the 98 of Riley Herbst said, this is as far as I want to go. I want to kind of break up the even amount of laps on both sets of tires. And you see the instant reaction by all the playoff drivers. This is kind of a new phenomenon in the last 4 or 5 years. We used to run all the fuel out of these cars pretty consistently, but these teams are getting more and more aggressive on their pit calls, and we're seeing less and less yellows. That's kind of agreeing with these strategies. Now, if you're the 7 of Allgaier, this is when you need the caution, right? You need to try to get this to cycle around. Currently, he's still a lap down, though, to the cars that have stayed on the racetrack. So he's still in a tough position.
There's that 7. Scored a lap down. Dave, what about Sheldon Creed in that 18?
Been a fairly good run for him tonight. They've been working on it most of the time. Remember, Sheldon started in 2nd position tonight, so the car has been fast. The Joe Gibbs Racing crew, 4 fresh tires and fuel here.
Yeah, Rick, I wondered how it was going to cycle, but looking at the monitor, right, Allgaier just still isn't in that position. As we see Daniel Dye, another Kaulig Racing car, continuing to lead. Parker Kligerman in a backup is 2nd.
Kim, what about the 48 of Parker Kligerman?
Yeah, he's kind of putting a bow on his full-time career. This is going to be the last race he runs as a full-time driver in any series, and I had the opportunity to talk to him, and he said he's gotten a little sentimental this weekend. He said he's closing a chapter on his career. He's stepping into a new one, and he said, you know, when you get into racing, you never think about what the end is going to look like, but he's been very happy with his performance the last couple of years. The team has a special sticker on each side of each B post that thank him. They also put a banner across the pit stall that was
green flag pit stop cycling through, and with that, Parker Kligerman was scored and is scored up front. Riley Herbst now second, and he's already been to pit road.
For this program is brought to you by Tableau TV.
Start watching TV for free with Tableau.
Switching to Tableau has really been a money saver. Without a monthly subscription is amazing.
Order today at TableauTV.com.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. Head to the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
And now your action weather broadcast. We've got shifting weather conditions on the horizon. Expect high winds, scattered thunderstorms, cold fronts, and dense fog. It's a wild one out there.
Toyota Trucks. Let's go places.
Here she goes.
Go.
With so much great entertainment out there, wouldn't it be easier if you could find what you want all in one place?
My favorites.
Get Xfinity Stream Saver with Netflix, Apple TV Plus, and Peacock included for only $15 a month.
All right, we got your home and auto bundled, and you saved hundreds.
Oh, that's nice with the economy and all.
What's the economy?
Where we start.
What isn't the economy?
Yes.
Right.
It is, it's so many things.
Right.
Look, all you really need to know is that Progressive can save you money without sacrificing quality coverage. You follow?
I'll just look it up.
That went well.
Febreze. Hi, I use Febreze Fade Defy Plug.
And I use this.
Febreze has a microchip to control scent release, so it smells first day fresh for 50 days.
50 days?
And its refill reminder light means I'll never miss a day of freshness. Febreze Plug.
The championship race is at hand. 4 final contenders line up in the desert.
There is so much on the line here.
Only one will be champion. The season-long quest boils down to a single day.
Who's got the magic?
By nightfall, one driver will forever be edged.
This is going to be an epic finish.
In NASCAR history. The NASCAR Championship from Phoenix on NBC and Peacock.
The caution has come out. It was Anthony Alfredo into the wall, and what a break for the 7 of Justin Allgaier. Take a look at this, though. Anthony Alfredo, a big hit for the 5.
Yeah, this is a big hit. Looks like the right front goes down, and that is a big impact. Look at it from this angle. Oh, that is hard hit. It narrowed that car up. And that is exactly what this team needed.
Right,
we
man,
said it wasn't over.
Sure. Excitement in the 7 pin, and now some decisions have to be made, right? I mean, we just saw the leaders come to pit road, but can you afford to give Allgaier just 6 or 7 lap fresher tires than you with 43 laps to go? I just don't know if you can afford. So does Allmendinger, does Hill, does Custer, do they come get tires? Or if you're Custer, who currently has the best track position, do you stay on the racetrack? This is going to be a tough call with everything on the line.
Cole Custer has about 6 green flag laps on his tires.
Remember when Allmendinger had about a 6-lap advantage, he was going by guys, and it looked like the car was really good. So does that mean that these other drivers have to come to pit road and not give Allgaier that advantage?
Yeah, that's really the question, as pit road continues to stay closed right here.
Well, look, if you're A.J. Allmendinger, he has been vocal. He can't win this race and beat the guys he needs to beat without doing something different. So what is that? Is that pitting now?
I was going to say.
Right? Or is that waiting and hoping you get a caution late and then come get tires? But it gives Allmendinger an opportunity with a car that's not as fast to play the game a little bit differently than others.
All right, let's check in with the pit box, and I'm going to start with you, Brad.
Yeah.
How about the elation out of the 7 of Allgaier?
Wow, my goodness. I mean, I thought his night was actually over. He was just riding. I was feeling bad for this young man because he's going to have to live with the mistakes. And here we are. All of a sudden, he's right back in the mix. Allgaier's got a great opportunity to win this race.
Yep, Christmas came in November for Justin Allgaier and his team right now. Can they take advantage of this? And what are the other guys going to do to try to match that?
It's going to see, and we said it earlier, between his ears. What's he going to do? He thought he was out just like everybody else did.
I did too.
Now he's back in and could be in the catbird seat, guys.
Wow. Incredible.
And on the radio, he said, which section did I speed in? He doesn't want to make that same mistake. We heard Jim Pullman say, just drop me at least one light so that we don't get caught for speeding on pit road. So now with pit road open, there you see the 7 on its way in. The 21 also following him down. So Austin Hill on the same strategy. Kim.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a last-minute call for the 21, ultimately deciding they needed to come. Andrew Street telling his team, we have to gamble. This might be our only shot to win the championship. Austin saying it fired off decent that time on pit road. And then it feels like they're back on the free side, which is where he wants to be. He said not sure what happened on that last set of tires. He did have some cording on the right front, so let's watch this crew go to work. He has been one of the best crews all year long. They'll take 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel, Marty.
You could just hear it in the voice of Justin Allgaier and Jim Pullman. New life for the 7 team. He said the only thing I need is to turn a little bit better in the center of the corner. Now back on the lead lap and fresh tires. What can Allgaier do with it? 41 to go here in the championship race in Phoenix.
Wednesday on Inside the NFL. Our pros look ahead to next weekend's games, plus Coach Belichick's game plan and Chad Johnson's predictions. You don't want to miss Inside the NFL, Wednesday at 9/8 Central on the CW. Where are the Champ 4 running? Well, right now it's Cole Custer looking to defend his title. He's 3rd. A.J. Allmendinger in that 7th spot. Allgaier on the lead lap running 13th, fresh tires. So does Austin Hill with 14.
With fresh tires, the 7 car of Allgaier, the 21 of Austin Hill, those 2 drivers need very good restarts right here. They need to take advantage of these new tires.
How aggressive do you get? 38 laps to go in the season. Green flag back in the air. Big run by the 98 of Riley Herbst. Love running in the 2nd spot. Custer holding on to 3rd.
But not the great restart Custer needed. He needed to get away from the 7 and the 21, and it is not working for him.
Connor Zilic on the outside in the 88. He takes 3rd away, and now fighting for 2nd with Jesse Love.
And the 7, right side of the screen, now has the 21 of Austin Hill to his left. Dust off the rear bumper of the 21. He's so low on the racetrack.
Uncharted waters there for the 21. Way down on the inside of 1 and 2. Are the fresher tires going to work for Allgaier?
37 to go is a long time to see if he can run down the 00. As the 16 and the 00 in front, on board with Hill.
I think the 00 Custer, I think he's in trouble right here. He's just didn't get the restart he needed. If the 7 or the 21 can pick up some spots here in the next few laps, with fresher tires, they could have the advantage.
Very tight racing as Custer is fighting for position with that 88.
Big pass right there. Go to the outside of the 88 to Jeff's point. That's how you can recover from the restart. Every position he passes early in this run will be tougher for the 7. The 7 now looking 3 wide on the bottom. Now 2 wide.
Trying to go by the closest Champ 4 competitor that he can get to, and that's A.J. Allmendinger in the 16 just in front of him. Sheldon Creed able to use that outside line in the 18 and go past the 7. Here comes the 21, also of Hill.
7 car is just not doing what Justin needs it to do right now.
But a little higher line, maybe some momentum here as he's going to get ready to get to the outside of the 16 of Allmendinger. So the higher line working for Allgaier now.
I like that move. Got around the 16 and has some momentum on corner exit to the bumper of the 18.
81 of Chandler Smith all the way down, cutting the dog leg. Now Allmendinger trying that apron through 1 and 2.
Allgaier with a good run on corner exit. Not good enough to get to the outside, but forward momentum entering into 3.
He put the bumper to the 18 of Creed. Pushed him up the racetrack a little bit, but now the momentum back in the hands of the 18 of Creed.
And all of the championship cars inside the top 10. Allgaier 7th, Allmendinger, 8th, 9th, and 10th for Allgaier, Allmendinger, and Hill. Custer's out there in 3rd, just trying to make some lap time.
Riley Herbst up front. Jesse Love running 2nd. And as you mentioned, Cole Custer, the Champ 4 leader, running in the 3rd position.
If you're Austin Hill, you've got to be thinking the win for the championship is through that 7 car. You have to assume you're going to catch those other 2 guys. And when you do, you need to be leading this race or leading the battle.
Now you have to wonder if time is becoming an issue as we close in on 30 to go. 30 to go. Custer about 2.5 seconds up the road from Allgaier, and also 5 cars in between.
Yeah, this battle has slowed them down. If they're going to get to Custer, they're going to have to make these passes because Custer is in a little more clean air, which lets him make faster lap time. You see the 7 of Allgaier trying to get to the outside of the 18. He's got it.
Great move. Very creative.
Allgaier now up to 7th. If you're playing a slot machine right now, it's pretty good for Allgaier.
And that Allgaier ran the 3rd fastest lap on the racetrack, faster than Cole Custer.
He's going to look to do the same to Almirola. I think he's going to pull it off. Will he get to the right rear quarter panel? He will. He's found a new way by, and it really agrees with the 7 car.
And now only 2 cars between he and the 00.
Yeah, I thought 30 to go wasn't going to be enough time, but instantly in 2 laps, the complexion changes.
It's still about 2 seconds separating Custer from Allgaier.
It is, but Allgaier just ran the fastest lap on the racetrack. About 0.2 of a second faster than the 00.
The 00 now is the one in traffic. The 7 clear track ahead. The 21 behind, 3 wide for the 21.
Eric Almirola in the 20, falling back behind the 18 of Creed. Hill doing everything he can in this, his first championship 4 experience.
Rick, I'm a glass half full guy, but I think I even gave up hope on the 7. I didn't think there was a pathway forward in that green flag cycle. It was very chaotic. Yet he stuck to his plan, listened to his crew chief, and then got the very fortunate yellow, which probably offsets the awful luck that he started the weekend with.
And now he can see it. Right now, the championship is within his sight. He sees that 00, 2 cars between he and Cole Custer. That ignites the fire, Steve. That when a driver sees it and he knows with 26 to go, that's the guy I got to get. You're going to see Allgaier trying to ramp up the speed even more.
If we go back 8 months, you'll get the mindset of Allgaier. He told us it's a different mindset because of the way this season has gone, and we see smoke behind the 26 and slow on the racetrack. So we'll see if we've got an issue here. Jeffrey Earnhardt, we know he had a battery issue earlier, but I was talking about 8 months ago when they were here at Phoenix. Allgaier was out in front of this field, 5 laps remaining in the race, and cut a tire. Got into the wall, finished 29th in that race. And he just said there have been times like that all season long when something happens, when we're out front or just running well, something happens and we have an issue. Well, now Allgaier, he's got the steering wheel in hand. He's running 6th, and he can see his closest competitor in front of him, who right now might be getting held up by Jesse Love.
Cole Custer with tons of pressure. Got to make this pass right here. Have to clear Jesse Love. Cannot let Jesse Love hold you up.
That's what you got to do. You got to gas it up. It's time to take. It's time to squeeze the two up the racetrack the best you can. Turn left, shortcut them, and hope you could slide them into turn one. Love's going to fight back on the outside.
The 0-0 now in the sights of the 7 of Allgaier.
And now Zilich in that 88, he's going to try to get to the outside. So now Custer being aggressive, which he has to do. He could lose the spot. You got to take it right here. You got to find a way to clear this 2-car. Look at the 88.
Here comes Zilich in the 88. We mentioned how these other cars would factor into this championship. Well, right now, Cole Custer cannot pass that 2.
That costs Cole Custer 3.5 tenths of a second to the 0-0.
And here comes the 7. Allgaier is in frame.
Yeah, there he is.
The 0-0 has to be feeling the pressure. He thought he had a chance. Now the 2 is way up the racetrack.
Give me some Jaws music, baby. What do you say?
Give me some Jaws music.
Some Jaws music.
Cole Custer just cannot clear Jesse Love. And that has cost him tons of track position.
Cole Custer, a champion a year ago. Won the race, won the championship. Now everyone chasing after Riley Herbst. He's got 3.5 second lead over Jesse Love, who the 0-0 has worked tirelessly to get by, but still cannot make the pass.
And that had to hurt the tires on that 0-0. Running the bottom like that just grinds the tires off.
Now the gap has closed even more between the 7 and the 0-0.
Again, Cole Custer, he is under attack by Zilich in that 88.
Oh, the 88's now to his outside, or I thought he was there. He wasn't quite there.
Such a difference, Steve. If Cole could have cleared that 2-car and gotten in front of him, then he could be on full offense. But now he's having to play some defense.
Connor Zilich has been working the inside, the outside. Sam Mayer also in the picture in the 1. And then Allgaier. What a turn of events for Justin Allgaier.
Allgaier shifting.
Allgaier found that speed when he jumped to the outside of the 20 and a couple other cars. You have to wonder if the 0-0 can risk moving up to that upper lane. That's really what worked for Jesse Love up here at the front of the train, right? He was forced to the outside by the 0-0, and I think it's helped the 2 now that he's running the second lane. Look at him, not even trying to get to the yellow line.
While this battle is going on, Riley Herbst is waving goodbye. He is 3.5 seconds ahead of this group.
Yeah, trying to check out on the field. What a ending to his season it would be if he could end up in victory lane.
Now the 7 of Allgaier, he got to this group, but nothing has happened since that. Really, he has not been able to close the gap.
And this is Junior Motorsports right now, running 4th, 5th, and 6th with Zilich, Mayer, and Allgaier. And Allgaier can't get by him.
Custer changed his lane, went to the top of the racetrack.
I think it was time, Jeff. I think he had to do something, and that right there is why. As long as the 88 can't get him off his line, I think the 0-0 needed something different for his car. It was a risk I think he had to take. Let's look at the lap time. Is that an improvement for Custer? He was running about a 29.4, 4th quickest on the racetrack that time by.
Dave.
You heard it on the radio, got to move up. Earlier in the race, Cole Custer knew that the 7 was so much better than him on the long run. He opined about it to his crew, and they have worked on this 0-0 car for the long run. But the 7 has come from behind again and is trying to chase down this 0-0. Cole is hanging on for his dear life now.
And remember, you just have to finish in front of the other 3 Champ 4 contenders for the title. And right now, Cole Custer holds that coveted position.
The 7 of Allgaier, he answered the call. He saw the 0-0 move up the racetrack. Allgaier having to try something different. He went to the top.
Momentum. Can he close the gap on Sam Mayer?
This is so intense inside the race car. You know the laps are winding down for a championship. You have to find every thousandths of a second in that race car. The danger is pushing too hard, trying too hard, getting the car out of the groove. If Cole Custer overdrives the car by 10 feet, he could miss the groove, get out, and then be in big trouble. But he has to be willing to do it if he's going to get away from this 7.
Cole Custer giving so much credit to JT, Jonathan Toney, his crew chief, wanting to get them back to championship contention.
Rick,
speaking of.
Yeah, so the upper lane worked for the 7, but now 2 cars behind him is the 21 of Austin Hill. You can see Jonathan Toney mesmerized by the screen. Jim Pullman focused on it as well. The 7 is under attack, though. The 1's behind him, the 21 behind him. This all changed when the 00 decided to move up a lane. That was a gamble that was either going to end it or save him.
And Austin Hill is not going to mess around with the 1 of Sam Mayer. He's got to get this spot.
Under 11 laps to go in the championship.
Yeah, 11 miles for a whole season. Think about the day that the 7 has had up and down. Top of the screen, you see the 00 now is 88 to his left side. That's not going to allow him to turn down on corner exit. He has to be very careful. That would hurt his corner exit, but he's gained on the 2.
Now Cole Custer gave him something different. Went to the bottom of the racetrack.
Oh, I like it. I think Cole has a shot right here to pass the 2 in the next lap or 2. And to your point, Jeff, that could be the championship. In front of the 2 in clean air is his only chance. Oh, here it is. Up the hill. Gas it up.
He's got to get to the outside of the 2. Can't do it. And right behind him is the 88.
Coming up on 9 laps to go. Connor Zilic with a run on that inside line. Allgaier trying to find something in this 7 car.
This could be the championship right here.
Right here. A real high line out of the 00 this time. Very tight racing. Cole Custer with a championship in front of him. But right now he's got Love blocking and the 88 of Zilic trying to get by.
Custer did not have good exit speed that time. Zilic underneath him. Cole Custer has got to find a way to keep this 88 behind him through this set of corners.
Now for the championship, nobody in between the 00 and the 7.
Oh, the 00 gassed it up.
But he couldn't complete that pass. He's on the outside now. What will he do? Oh, contact made. They drift up the racetrack. Here comes Allgaier. Allgaier to the inside of Zilic. Now under 7 laps to go. The title tightening up. Here comes Allgaier.
Cole Custer's got to narrow up. He's got to be a little lower. He likes the top, but he's widened it up too much.
A really tight turn for Allgaier. Can he hang on to it?
Bring it back home. Bring it back in.
Allgaier out in front. The championship in front of him.
What a drive with fresh tires from the back after such an up and down night. Can the 00 counter?
Allgaier under 6 laps to go.
Cole Custer had a really good 1 and 2 that time. Got back to the bumper of the 7 car.
Now just 5 laps remaining.
Some traffic up front for the 7. The 2 of Jesse Love will make short work, but will this slow the 7 down?
They're able to clear one of the cars. They got by the 53.
Cole Custer shifting on both ends of the racetrack.
They also clear the 42.
Lap cars do a nice job out of the way, but the 00 has not moved off the bumper of the 7. 4 to go.
4 miles left in the 2024 season.
And Jesse Love, Cole Custer could not get by him. Now Allgaier trying to drive underneath him.
Allgaier, what a weekend he has had. From all the way in the back at the start of this race to now in front and leading the championship 4. But here comes the 00 again. Cole Custer with a little run. Under 3 laps to go. Cautions come out. The 42 is around, and Leland Honeyman brings out caution number 6. A restart could determine the champion in 2024.
Well, with 45 laps on the tires, I'm not sure this is a no-brainer on what to do. I think this becomes a very difficult decision. There are only 14 cars on the lead lap. Justin Allgaier should have fresh right side tires in his pits. The 21 of Austin Hill, I don't believe, has any tires in his pits. Cole Custer, I believe, also has some tires in his pits. Marty, I know you're down there on pit road. Dave and Kim, when we look at these 3 championship cars, who has tires available? Marty, Allgaier should have 2. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. He has right side tires, Steve, but I don't know. Do you give up that track position, even if it's just for 2 tires, to come here for an overtime restart? Dave, what do you think?
The 7 car has a set. There they are. Nice, fresh Goodyear tires. The crew is ready. They are still talking about it.
And then Kim on the 21?
Yeah, and for Austin Hill, they used that last set of stickers when they gambled on that last caution, so they just have scuffs. Austin also said he felt like the right front was going right. Remember, they had that weird run where he corded the right front. He feels similar to that, but they only have scuffs left on the wall.
So that's important to know. So now if you know the 21 only has scuffs, that would probably lean to staying out. So can you give him the track position?
The other thing that matters is all the guys that aren't racing for the championship, what are they going to do? Are they going to separate you? Are they going to put new tires, line up right behind you if you stay out? And those guys will impact their strategy, what they do, how many tires they have left. They're going to impact who can win this championship.
I say it all the time, Rick. You tell me how many are going to pit, I'll tell you what you should do. That is really the impossible thing. If you pit and take tires and you line up 1 row or 2 rows back, you got them. 45-lap tires, you're going to kill them. But if you come out 3 or 4 rows back with some other guys that decided to stay out, it's going to be a tough decision. Here we go. Green lights on the pit. Looks like a left turn.
Pit entry light.
Pit stop time, pit crew time for a championship. Who can get the stop to their driver?
Steve, you mentioned it. The teams. This is a team sport, and we'll find out who can win it as a team. Dave.
Best friends Shane Papala and Dakota Ratcliffe. They changed the tires for the 00. It'll be 4. No fuel added, Kim.
Austin Hill on pit road in that 21 car, bottom left of your screen. They will take those scuffed tires. We'll look at that right front when it comes off of Austin Hill's machine, Marty.
The handling really no better for A.J. Allmendinger, but they're going to come down here for fresh tires for him, a little bit way too free. And for Justin Allgaier, this is Alex Bowman's pit crew on Sundays. What can they do for Allgaier right now? They're actually going to go with 4 tires for Allgaier here on this stop. He said the car was really good at the end of that run. How will they do on the short run here?
Oh, and a slow stop on the 7 is going to cost him 2 spots. The 21 all year long. We've talked about the pit crew of the 21, and here he is, the first car off pit road on scuffed tires.
Allgaier couldn't get out of his box.
Yes.
They did that stop, and he just spun the tires.
Yeah, it wasn't a great stop, but also he could not get rolling at all. He was sitting there spinning the tires, and the car was hardly going forward. Watch this.
So some trouble on the right side. A little bit slow, trying to come over to the left. I think this is where the real issue happens. Left sides go on, a little slow on the left rear, but not awful, but then look.
It's sitting there spinning the rear tires. It's not having forward momentum.
Yeah, didn't launch at all out of that box.
So Kim on the 21 for scuffs. How good are the scuffs, I guess, is the question on the 21 car.
Just checked in with the team. They are 7-lap scuffs. So how do you feel about Austin chances? He's out front, but he has scuffed tires on that Chevrolet.
Kim, do we know if it's 2 or 4 on the 21? I couldn't tell from the pit stop how many tires they changed on the 21.
It was fast.
It was fast. That's my question, because he passed the 98. We'll have to get the update. Waiting for our timing monitor to reset as well. I believe it's 2 tires we're hearing now, a 7-second stop. So 2 scuffed tires on the right side of the 21. Kim will go get us the answer for sure. Technology is good, but we want to make sure we 100% know as we set the stage here for a championship.
And again, the reason for this caution, Leland Honeyman Jr. in the 42. There you see him sideways. And not able to continue rolling, and so the caution came out, which means a restart. It means overtime. And Austin Hill What a stop they had. Kim, have we got verification on how many tires?
Yes, verification, right sides only, 7-lap scuffs, right sides. Right now, the decision where to make the choose, the bottom nor the top has worked well for Austin, but he's got clean air, so we'll see what he decides.
Well, the pit crew has got him out there. Now, what do you do with it, Steve? That's the question. Are those two scuffed right side tires, are they enough to compete against 4 fresh?
Well, Austin Hill told us on Tuesday he just wanted a chance to muscle up. I think this is the chance, right? They would much rather have fresh tires to put on it. A lot of things you would like to do different to get you in this spot. Allgaier would like to have a car they didn't have to drive so hard to make up for a couple issues, right? But here we are. This is what they have. This is the hand that they're currently dealt.
I know he wants the ball late in the game. However, I do not understand how he can do it on scuffed tires. I just don't know that this car is going to have the grip.
Still waiting on the choose to determine which lane they're going to be in. And DJ, what do you think?
You know, as a driver, this is the position you want to be in. You want it in your hands. But when you're at a little bit of a deficit, as Austin Hill is, I think you just give it everything you possibly have and hope that you can get the most from those tires.
Yeah, and Brad knows this. And when you're in a championship game, give me the ball. That's what you. Yeah. They've given these guys the ball. Now it's, do they step up? Can they step up? In this thing, or in this last few laps, one of these guys is going to come out of championship. One of them's going to be the champion, and they deserve it. But in this position,
no doubt about it. This is the opportunity you want. This is legacy-making stuff.
Yep.
Rick, we're going to see a champion crowned here in just a few laps. Who will it be?
And is this the only attempt at overtime? Will we see a second attempt at overtime, too? That's the question. Listen into the radio of the 7.
You got this, man. I got the best driver right here sitting behind the wheel, and you're going to make it happen for me, okay? That's just the way it's going to be. Get up, make it happen.
Jim Pullman cheering that driver on. He's won 25 times in the Xfinity Series. He's top 10 all-time as far as wins. He just does not have this championship yet.
So, Jeff, where do you line up?
Well, I got to see what the 21 does. I have to assume that we are going to be a lot faster than the 21 of Austin Hill. But remember, it can be 5 wide entering turn 1. So I want to see what the 21 does. If I'm Cole Custer, we've seen every restart. He has been to the top, and he has picked up spots. I think the 00 wants to be on the top. But if the 21 goes to the top, I would be nervous about going up there with him. And there's the 21 to the top. The next 2 cars go to the bottom. Left Cole Custer no chance. The 7 went with Cole Custer.
So it's nose to tail for the championship contenders. It's Austin Hill, then the 00, and then the 7.
If you wrote the script, you couldn't make it up, Rick. You couldn't make it up if it was a movie script. I like the top. I think it won't look great right away, but if you can get clean into 1 and 2, I think your best chance to win the race is to exit turn 2 with momentum off the top lane.
The problem I have with the top, and we're going to find out what's going to happen, it's going to get wild in turn 1 and at the start-finish line. But the 7 of Allgaier lining up behind the 00 puts the 20, a very fast race car, underneath him, and the 21 is on old tires. I'm super nervous for the outside row behind Hill. How are they going to get by him?
And just remember, there are 4 of them. Don't forget about Allmendinger back there. I know he's not in the mix, but if these 3 get as aggressive as we think they could, that can bring Allmendinger into it.
In the 20 car, he's racing for a championship for his car owner. A lot for him to go get here.
It's overtime presented by Credit One Bank. Green flag back in the air. A big run for the 7. He tried to go high. Now looking low. They're both trying to get by that 21 as they dive into turn 1. Here comes the 7 to the inside. Allgaier is going to pass both of them.
Custer tried to get to the outside of the 21. It simply did not work.
And the 31 is around. That will probably bring a caution out. Does it get out? Yes, it does before they get to the white flag. So it will be another overtime.
But a great restart by Allgaier, and that's going to separate him potentially. We'll have to see how they're going to do the lineup, but potentially that's going to separate him with several cars in between he and the other championship contenders.
Jim Pullman told him to go get it done. That 1 and 2 was a career corner for the 7 of Allgaier. You mentioned that the 00 kind of gut up top, trying to get to the right side of the 21. The 7 crossed him over. What a move.
All right, no mistakes. So Allgaier is now right behind Love. Looks like Riley Herbst is questioning the positioning. So he's driving beside the 7 now.
Yeah, so basically what NASCAR does right here is they go back to the last loop crossed under green flag conditions. This is not the scoring that will be done by camera because it doesn't determine the finish of the race. This is purely electronic, but Riley has every right to do that. That's how you signify to the tower you question the lineup. You ride side by side. They'll quickly offset where everybody needs to be.
Let's go back and revisit that restart. Everybody got really aggressive. Remember, Austin Hill with older tires. We talked about how is this going to work on the outside. Immediately, Allgaier tries to get to the outside of Custer. Couldn't make it work. Watch the 00. He all day has made the outside work, but the 21 doesn't stick. He doesn't stay in the middle lane. It doesn't allow Cole Custer to get to the outside of the 21. Allgaier saw it, drove to the bottom of the 21, and got his spot.
6th to 2nd in about 3/4 of a mile.
And maybe even bigger, the 00 of Cole Custer got so bottled up behind that group, he might be 5-6 positions behind that 7 of Allgaier.
Exactly, and this is the reason for the caution. You can see 3-4 wide getting into turn 1. Eventually, it's not going to work out for somebody.
Yeah, it was Parker Retzlaff that ended up around.
Big hit.
Yeah, hard into the wall from the back of that car. Listen in to Cole Custer's radio.
21 just yeah, for sure. He saw me going top and he just stopped us.
He did. Listen, the 21 knew the 00 was looking outside. The 21's racing for a championship, and he made a defensive move up the racetrack. That's what the 21's supposed to do. I have no problem at all with that move from this driver right here of the 21. I think Austin Hill did what he needed. His play-by-play is pretty accurate. Custer would be great at our jobs because it did stop him. And the 7, the ability for the 7 to get checked up and turn middle 3 wide, Jeff, was really the move.
Well, look, I'm not saying that. I'm not even so sure that Hill intentionally meant to be there. Remember, he's on older tires. That's why I didn't like them lining up behind him. How is he going to get to the outside? Austin Hill has no choice but to carry speed into turn 1 on older tires. There's no way it's going to stay in its lane the way the other cars are on fresh tires. That's why I didn't like them lining up behind him.
All right. Well, now you're the 7. So where are you going to line up now?
Whatever the front row is, whatever that 2 car goes. So you line up
bottom front row.
Wherever that 2 car goes, I'm going the other way. I want the front row. I want to take control of this, period, end of story.
And don't.
I thought I was giving him a hard question, but he had a pretty solid answer.
It was really quick, actually.
Like he's won a few of these things.
All right, Marty, what about the 7?
Justin Allgaier asked his spotter Eddie DeHunt, would the 2 be willing to give me the top lane now that his teammate is not a factor? Eddie DeHunt did ask that question, but I agree with you, Jeff. I think they are thinking front row, wherever that needs to be, but they would like the top, Kim.
And for Austin Hill, he told his team he tried to do everything he could on that last restart. Remember, he's got older tires, took those scuffs on the right side. The team trying to rally him, tell him we're proud of you. Still, anything can happen, trying to keep his head in the game, Dave.
Custer would hope to pick up a couple of positions here on the choose. Remember, it was a green-white checkered overtime last year that took Custer to the championship, Marty.
A.J. Allmendinger did not get the start that he wanted on the last restart, Dave, but these short runs could play to their favor. Sitting in 10th right now, but as crazy as that last one was, you never know what can happen here in the final few laps here at Phoenix.
Yeah, that's one thing we've learned, Marty. You just never know what can happen. How many times have we seen it, Rick? You can't predict it.
And don't forget, Jesse Love in that 2 car, he's here to win a race.
Yes.
He has 1 career win. He wants to win this race. He's going to do what he has to. Every indication is that he is going to go the top right here. He's up the racetrack behind the pace car. He wants the top. That gives him the best chance to win this race. That's where he goes. Allgaier wanted the top. He said, nope, I'm here to win the race. You got to get it done from down there.
So we just got a great update from our 4 drivers that are racing for a driver's championship this season. But Rick, you've mentioned it a couple times. I know it's complicated for a fan that doesn't follow the Xfinity Series a lot. But the 20 car, the second car on the inside, driven by Eric Almirola, runs multiple drivers. But they're eligible for the Owners' Championship. They have won. They have gone through the same bracket as these other guys. They've continued to advance. I only say that because I think as you mentioned, Jesse Love here to win a race. Well, Eric Almirola is here to win an Owners Championship, and he is racing the 7 of Allgaier for the Owners Championship. JRM is in that battle as well. We will see if this changes how the 20 races them.
The field in the hands of Jesse Love. Allgaier on his inside.
And remember, the driver of that 20 car, he has 3 Cup Series wins. He knows how to win these races, and driving for Joe Gibbs, going there to run a limited schedule was about these moments.
Who's the best at restarts? It's coming down to potentially this restart right here to determine a champion. The nose in front for Allgaier. Contact made! Here comes the 21 on the inside. The 21 up the racetrack. Again, contact made. Allgaier out in front. Riley Herbst running second.
Take the white now.
You can hear it in his voice. Eddie DeHaan, the spotter for the 7. Get to that white flag. The next flag that comes out will determine the race. Allgaier was out front in the spring race here, but a problem sent him into the wall. Here comes the 98 of Riley Herbst. He'll be fighting for the win.
Right with you, though, trying to get that flag.
For the final time down the backstretch, here comes Riley Herbst racing for the win. But it will be the most decorated driver in the field. Justin Allgaier is a NASCAR Xfinity Series champion.
I'm so proud of you. Boys, thank you all so much, man. I didn't want to get emotional, I'll be honest with you, but, man, I can't tell you all how much I appreciate it. This is, awesome.
7 tries.
We're champion finally. Wayne, buddy, I told you a long time ago I wanted to go out with you and win a championship for you, and I only had one shot to do it, and we made it happen, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for everything over the years. I really appreciate it. Sure made it exciting for everybody. Nice job, bub. We'll come here and give you a big old trophy. How about that?
Team owner Dale Earnhardt Jr. down there waiting for his driver to join him. We heard Wayne Auten's voice. Wayne Auten, 38 years in NASCAR, is retiring after this race right here. As you see, most of the drivers are going to come up and congratulate Justin Allgaier. We'd like to congratulate Wayne Auten as well on an incredible career. Riley Herbst wins the race. Justin Allgaier wins the championship.
Just an incredible drive, and for all the mistakes and everything, the last set of corners, the 7, understanding what was on the line and kind of giving deference to Herbst, not challenging a driver that didn't need to be challenged, instantly showed his experience, his mental awareness. What a battle.
Never quit. Never quit. There was time in this race where
most had ruled him out.
They were done, and
I'm not sure I had.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of comebacks, but I was trying to figure out with 75 to go how this was going to happen, and shame on me. Allgaier proved it could happen.
He's going to grab the champion flag and begin the celebration. That's Rick Brandt. Rick Brandt handing him the flag right now, and Rick Brandt has been a part of Allgaier's career for so long. It was announced earlier this year that Allgaier would be back with team sponsor Rick Brandt for multiple years at Junior Motorsports. And there's a proud owner watching his winning team. There went one of the tires. They will have another set of tires. Wayne Otten told us this, that they'll put on so that he can roll back into his championship celebration area.
That's what 14 years of trying looks like. It took Justin Allgaier that long to make it happen. 7 trips to the championship 4. And tonight, he finally does it. Jim Pullman and Justin Allgaier won an ARCA championship back in 2008. Here in 2024, they're NASCAR Xfinity Series champions. The boss man in with a hug. And tears in Justin Allgaier's eyes so many times tonight. Kelly Earnhardt Miller, as they like to say, the real boss at Junior Motorsports, in with a much-deserved hug. L.W. Miller as well. And Dad Mike. Dorothy Mom's going to come in as well. Well, Justin, so many times tonight, I think everybody else in the field counted you out. Did you ever count yourself out tonight?
Yeah, like 10 times. You fans are awesome. I don't think I have a voice left because I was yelling, but I'm doing this a long time. And these people that are standing around me, I can't, there's no words. Rick Brandt, Sierra Brandt, Christy Brandt, the whole Brandt crew, Jarrett Hellmans, all of our partners, Hendrick Engine Shop, what an engine this weekend. Chevrolet, I mean, it's understated what they've done. My wife and my kids, they have given up so much for me to come do this job, and God's good, man. I said it all weekend. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what that looks like, but he's got a reason for everything, and tonight is truly that. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. It really is.
Harper and Willow coming in. His daughters. Oh, tears there as well. You know, this weekend was a microcosm, really, of your entire season. So much speed, then problems, Justin, then you guys rally. Have you ever been through a weekend with such a range of emotions, high and low?
No. Hi, baby. We did it. This team never gave up. Jim Pullman, his leadership skills are second to none, and he told me all weekend that we were going to have a chance, and man, we tried to give it away every which way we could. I was as fast as Xfinity Internet, but on pit road, not on the racetrack where I needed to be. I just wanted to make it exciting for all you fans at home. I guess, I don't know. You know, Dale Jr., Kelly Earnhardt Miller, L.W. Miller, everybody at Junior Motorsports, I have all the men and women, all 5 of our race teams. I mean, just the effort that we put in. I'm at a loss for words, and we're going to celebrate this one for sure. It's unbelievable. But I just cannot say thank you enough to everybody that's ever helped me in my career to get to this point. He's 7 times in the championship 4, and we finally got it done. And we're forever a NASCAR champion, and that there's no words like that one.
Enjoy some time with the family. We'll see you in a few minutes. We're going to hand out some hardware to Justin Allgaier, the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series champion.
You saw how much it meant when you saw his family come up. Right now he's hugging Harper and Willow. They have designed his helmet, and there's a horseshoe on there. That's there for a reason. His grandfather carried a horseshoe around with him all the time. The kids knew how important it was for Justin to have that horseshoe on the helmet. He just mentioned it. 7 tries, and in the 7th try, the lucky 7th try, with a horseshoe on the helmet, Justin Allgaier is a NASCAR Xfinity Series champion. The celebration continues from Phoenix Raceway. What a race it was. Riley Herbst won stage 1, won stage 2, and won the race. But in the end, the biggest trophy that was out there for the 4 championship contenders goes to the driver of the 7. He made the right decisions when it was the time to do it. And how emotional did we see Justin Allgaier get, the 38-year-old? Becomes the first driver from Illinois to win an Xfinity Series championship. Justin Allgaier, the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series champion.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series, returning in February 2025, only on the CW.
And we see Allgaier and family doing a little chatting. Harper and Willow there. And what a weekend it has been for Justin Allgaier.
It started off in chaos right away. Oil on the racetrack. The 7 goes in. Lap 4, brand new race car. Wrecks, frustration peaks.
Got the backup car out. Got an old racetrack yesterday. Did a good job. And then started from the back.
And they beat and bang, thought he had a flat tire, and then right here pulls out of line on a restart, gets a restart violation, has to come down pit road, then has another penalty. But this was the move, Jeff. Overtime, a big restart for the 7.
Yeah, to come back from a lap down, they thought their night was over and then got real aggressive, made this restart happen. You are a champion.
Dale Jr., Justin Allgaier have been trying at this for quite some time. Rick Brandt. It's always special when you see a group stick together and find the top of the mountain.
Hugs all around. You see, oldest Xfinity Series champion since Tommy Ellis way back in 1988. All right, let's hear from Cole Custer. He ends up 2nd in the championship battle. He's with Kim.
Yeah, Rick falls short of going back-to-back. As you look at those final couple of restarts, specifically when you got held up by the 21 on old tires, is there anything you could have done differently in that moment?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think any driver can do something a little bit different. You know, I tried to go high, I tried to go the middle, I tried to go everywhere I could, but he made his car pretty wide, which is his right. I mean, we're all going for a championship, right? So it just sucks that, you know, it ended up screwing us over worse than it did the 7, and he was able to slip by. But, man, I can't say congratulations enough to Justin and all those guys. I mean, he's definitely a deserving champion. They were fast all night. I hate it came down to tire strategies and, you know, stuff like that. But, man, I mean, I can't say enough about our group. You know, everything they've done over the last 2 years, JT, everybody in that shop worked so hard. I just wish we could have ended it out with a championship for SHR, but it just wasn't meant to be on those restarts. But I'll think about it. I'll try and find a way of somehow I could have done it better, but I can't thank Haas Automation for performance. Andy's frozen custard on the car this weekend. It stings for sure to be 2nd, but man, I'm really happy for Justin. That was a long time coming for him.
We'll see Cole Custer next year, Dave, in the Cup Series.
A.J. Allmendinger was 3rd of the 4 contenders tonight. What kept you from being able to claim the championship today?
We just struggled all night, but you know, first off, congrats to Justin and Dale Jr., that 7 crew. Justin's been working at it for a long time, so really cool that he got it. Wish we could have been at least in the fight for it, but can't thank Alex Janssen, my whole 16 group just fighting. We were off from the start, loose the whole time. I didn't know what else to do to try to make it faster. So just disappointing that we never really were in the fight. We thought maybe strategy-wise, we could kind of steal it maybe, or at least the team championship, but just can't thank Matt and Chris and all the men and women at College Racing enough just for giving me these chances. Celsius, all of our partners. Pretty disappointing. It was definitely not lack of effort. I don't honestly know what else we can do to be more prepared. Just wasn't good enough for them. So disappointing, but proud to be here at least.
Thanks, AJ. Rick?
And remember, AJ Allmendinger had the longest to prepare. Won at Vegas, had a couple weeks that they knew they were a part of this Phoenix Championship hunt. For those of you tuning in for Utah State and 21st ranked Washington State, that game will kick off on News Nation. And to find News Nation, go to joinnn.com.
Well, Rick, I want to tell you, it's been a great 10 years. Really enjoy working with you. You're a good person, great friend. It's been a lot of fun.
Love you, brother.
380-something races, Rick. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm still not sure I do. When I came up here 10 years ago, you taught us a lot about television. It's been a great ride, some great calls. We've seen some amazing races, and I look forward to some time on the golf course, you and me, in the months and years to come.
Well, apparently playing golf with you is good because DJ got a hole-in-one last week with you in the foursome, so maybe it'll work out for me. What a good time it has been watching Justin Allgaier grab that championship. Let's go to pit road and Kim.
Austin Hill comes home fourth in the championship standings, but it wasn't for lack of trying. You guys threw everything at it there at the end, strategy-wise, took some big gambles to keep yourself in contention. Where did you guys miss it today, though?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough question to answer right now. We just need to go back and look at it and see where it went wrong. Stage one, we didn't have a winning race car, but we were better than the other three, I felt like. Well, the 7 was really good. He drove through the field, so I'm not sure if I was better than him on stage one, but kind of felt free in stage one. Then we tightened up, and for whatever reason, when we tightened up, it just started overslipping the fronts, but it wasn't helping the rear grip any. Like, I still was loose on entry, so yeah, maybe I just need to ask for the car, our Bennett Chevrolet, to just stay on the free side all day. Might have got us behind there on adjustments, but yeah, and then we came in, with the 7 and put on stickers. We drove up through there, and I saw the 7 and the 00 fighting it out, and I knew we were running out of laps, but I thought if they got to battling, I could have had a shot because we were running some decent lap times there. And when the caution came out, I knew we were going to be at a tire deficit, and we had to try something. We put the right side tires on it, and just got down into one, and I drove as deep as I could, just trying to protect from out back, and overslipped the front tire, started sliding, and then I saw the 00 trying to get to my right rear, and I didn't want him to get to my outside, so kind of like slid up the track, and then he got in the back of me, and then coming off the corner, I was sideways, and it allowed the 7 to get by both of us just because I couldn't put the throttle down. But a lot of hard racing out there. I want to say congrats to the 7 team. Justin Allgaier has been doing this for a really long time. I think this was his 7th playoff appearance, and to see him finally get it done, I'm very happy for him. I'm happy for his family. He's a great guy to be around. So great competitor. Been fun racing with him all year. So hats off to Junior Motorsports for getting it done.
Well, and it's been a 14-year haul to try to get the hardware that Justin Allgaier is about to receive. Let's go to Marty.
Rick, we have a whole host of people up here on the stage ready to celebrate, including Steve O'Donnell, Chief Operating Officer of NASCAR. Wayne Otten, the retiring director of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Matt Lederer, Vice President of Brand Partnerships and Activation with Comcast. And Steve, I'm gonna let you do the honors.
Well, thank you. Unbelievable. Junior Motorsports, Dale, Kelly, Justin, couldn't ask for a better champion. I've never seen a guy persevere year in and year out, stay after it. I know this was a tough weekend, but this describes everything about you. You stayed with it. You won. You represent this sport. You are NASCAR. We thought it was only appropriate that a guy who's retiring for us, who's a legend in the sport, gives it to the next legend in the Xfinity Series. So congratulations, buddy.
is all over. 14 years. The family gets to kiss the trophy. 14 years, was it worth the wait?
Understated, yeah. This race team right here, Dale, Kelly, LW, every man and woman that works this race shop, Jim Pullman, this guy right here, unbelievable. Rick Brandt, I mean, the guys stuck with me through thick and thin. We've had a lot of bad years, and, 2 years ago, I sat down at dinner, and on Friday night, I told him if we won the championship, I was retiring on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my wife said you can't do that. And I signed a 2-year contract a couple of months ago. And I'll be honest with you, I thought I'd have different emotions up here, and I thought I'd be ready to be done. But, man, it just makes me fired up to come back next year and go try to win it again. I cannot say enough thank you to Wayne, to everybody that's a part of this group. All of the competitors. I mean, the Final Four this year, we had such a great year, and we battled each other. I mean, there's just no words, man. It's, I don't have a voice. I lost it because I was yelling, going around the racetrack at just how excited I was. But, I wanted to win the race and the championship. But, man, I'll take a championship all day and run second. The fans are amazing. The industry folks, all the media. It's unbelievable, man. It truly is. And, we moved to the CW on broadcast. And you fans pay a premium for these tickets. I just wanted to give you all a show tonight, speed on pit road and restart violations and all that fun stuff. But I'd have been okay with it being a little easier than it was.
We're going to let Justin Allgaier save a little bit of voice. Let's talk to Dale Earnhardt Jr., the winning car owner. I know you wanted this for him personally, maybe more than anyone who's ever driven for you, because he has put in so much.
Yeah, he has. He's worked so hard. He's gave so much to our team. Thank you, buddy. He's just done so much for us. If there's an image in a dictionary of the model race car driver, it's him. He's been incredible for our partners. Anyone that's worked with him on the partner side loves him. He goes above and beyond there, and he drives hard. Sometimes too hard, but I'd rather have a driver like that going for it all the time and pushing as hard as he can. He's a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun over the years, but I've badly wanted him to get this championship because he's a champion. He deserves it.
You were funny because when he mentioned the retirement word, you like pulled me aside like, wait, what? You got to be relieved that he's like, okay, I'm not going to do that.
I wouldn't blame him if he did. What a way to go out. But I know he's got a little bit left in the tank, and we're going to have some more fun. We're going to win some more races. But this is going to be a great celebration. I can't wait to see the rest of the company. Everybody works so hard at Junior Motorsports to be competitive, and this is a tough series.
And it's great of Austin Hill to come by and congratulate him as well. Justin Allgaier, the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series champion.
Big crowd around the stage there. And again, it's Allgaier's night for his championship. But we have to remember that he didn't win the race. Riley Herbst won the race. Let's hear from the race winner. He's with Dave.
Well, let's jump in with Riley in the midst of the high fives and congratulations. You seem to be coming out for the big moments. The first win right in front of your hometown crowd. The next win, Indianapolis. And then, with everybody watching, you win on championship weekend as a non-playoff driver. Riley, what does this mean?
Yeah, I've been telling people since Daytona that if we got to Phoenix, we'd be the champion, and everybody would look at me like I was crazy. But that's gone now. We didn't make it, but I'm just so proud of all these guys, everybody at Stewart-Haas Racing. It was a really tough week last week. We had a lot of emotional people at the shop. This place was home for me for 4 years. It's built me to what I am now, and that's a winning race car driver in the Xfinity Series. And, yeah, I'm just so proud of Davin, all the guys on the 98 team. It's been a hell of a run the last 4 years. Thank you so much to every man and woman at Stewart-Haas Racing. I love you guys all so much. Monster Energy, Mitch Covington, I hope you're doing well. This one's for you, and I'm going to go win the Baja 1000 with my cousins next week, too. So I'm proud to go do that, but I'm so excited for Stewart-Haas Racing, Monster Energy, Terrible Herbst, everybody that supports me, and we'll see what next year holds.
What a way to bring it home. Riley Herbst, the winner tonight at Phoenix.
All smiles there. Again, a reminder coming up next, college football. It's Utah State at 21st ranked Washington State. Let's check in with the pit box. And DJ, did that one entertain you?
Highly, yes, Rick. And you know what's a great thing is whenever good people have good things happen to them, and he had to earn that. I mean, gosh, if you talk about what it's like going out and having to win and do everything you can to become a champion in this sport, Justin Allgaier is the model for that. He's done everything in this. Now he's the champion. And, you know, Kyle, sometimes things just make us smile and feel good inside, and this is one of those.
Yeah, this is one of them. This race was a microcosm of his whole year. Win, go backwards, go forward, everything. But I think the emotion you heard in his voice, you saw Dale and Kelly, you saw the other competitors. They wanted this guy to win. People have been pulling for him for 7 years to get to this point. But the moments with his mom and dad, the moments with his little girls, the moments with his wife, this is what sports are all about. Yeah. You know what I mean? In the end, when it's all said and done, we can take all the political stuff out of the sport. We can take all the business out of it. And it's just the heart of an athlete. And I think that's what we saw in Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, and it's almost a big, exhale for Justin Allgaier because he is truly one of the nicest young men you'll ever meet. And you almost would coin him a champion even if he didn't win, just because of the way he purports himself. But this puts the cherry on top for Justin Allgaier. We talked about legacy earlier. This cements his legacy. He was unbelievable. Made some mistakes, but did not give up, and that is the heart of a champion. That's what you want to see.
For sure.
No give up in Justin Allgaier. Again, this is the Xfinity Series Championship. Tomorrow, the Cup guys get to take the track.
I mean, I don't even know what to expect after what we saw tonight, right? The driver that perhaps looked like he had the bleakest outcome ended up persevering in the end for worthy competitors and potential champions, two trying to repeat or get multiple championships, two brand new guys that have yet to be a champion.
Yeah, this championship race, you just never know what's going to happen. There's so much on the line. Kyle Petty talked about it, having a heart of a champion and just trying to make something happen, and it puts drivers in very difficult situations, teams as well, but some find a way to do it and others go home very disappointed.
Well, I've had the luck of calling both of Justin Allgaier's championships, his ARCA championship back in 2008, and now this one here in the Xfinity Series. What a season it has been, and it's capped off by a great race. Riley Herbst ends up winning. He gets to the start-finish line first and sees a checkered flag, but the first of the Champ 4 is Justin Allgaier. Junior Motorsports gets another title. Justin Allgaier. He is the 2024 Xfinity Series champion.